They're very cute.
That's so fucking cute.
Nobody saw anything at all. No one saw nothing at all. Oh no. Oh god. I'm so welcome to the stream. Patsy.
Should be screaming this fucking early in the morning, but fuck it.
Yeah, okay. Thank you guys for coming to my 3-year anniversary. Holy goddamn shit. You guys saw nothing at all in the first 5 seconds of everything going down. But welcome to today's stream. Both my contestants and the audience don't know what the fuck is happening today, so I'm going to go ahead and attempt to give you a video, and hopefully it will explain. Excuse you. What are you talking about? You're here on your own, like, will and volition, right, Mika? Right,
I'm blinking.
Mika?
I'm blinking.
You're a PNJ. You can't blink. Shut the fuck up.
Code, guys.
Let me blink for everybody. Blink.
Wait, hold up. You're right. Goddamn.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, friend. I appreciate that, my friend. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead. Okay, so welcome to today's pretty much the 3 anniversary. I'm gonna play a video for both the players here and also the audience to kind of tell us what is kind of going on, what the fuck is happening, and then we'll go from there. All right, are you guys ready? No, cause I'm not. Here we go!
Yeah!
Welcome to my 3-year anniversary. Wait, hold up. Wait, hold up.
Thank you so much for coming to today. Here is a mini video. The showcase the people I have kidnapped for tonight and the plans that I have for them as well.
Okay.
Like this little introduction
There we go.
video. What the I have planned because I honestly don't know how to explain this in any words besides the video format. So here we go. So for today, I have kidnapped a lovely 5 amount of my friends because having an even number was too weird for me. And so, incoming, these are your 5 contestants for tonight. We have Mika Katsuka! And then we have Jason Butterman. And then we also have the Ichiroku Chirorochi. You will hear her be called by every other name under the sun while she's here. You also are gonna have the Ren. Let's come out the room. And then we also have Sensei. Just Zane. Zane Sensei.
No
Sensei.
Give me.
These are your contestants for the night.
So cute.
So, what are these lovely contestants for the night going to be subjected to? Well, they don't know either. So you're about to find out with them. It's technically an improv night, as I had technically quote-unquote promoted it as, but it's a board game with improv elements. I totally didn't figure that out after I have done every single thumbnail and everything in between, but I digress. Now, what is improv? You might have seen skits that kind of go like this.
Decided to get revenge.
Well, improv is a shorthand term to say improvise, or to improvise, pretty much, which is a critical skill for both actors and streamers.
Wow.
To be witty and to come up with something on the fly is sometimes a very hard skill for some people to master. So for today, I decided to grab 5 of my friends and test their improv skills. But wait, there's more. Just having an improv night seems a little bit too boring, per se. So I decided to take the creative liberty as your host for tonight and decided to make it a board game with the elements of improv tonight. And I welcome you to tonight's true identity, the Improv Board Game!
So fucking extra.
Watch as these lovely 5 friends of mine try to race to the finish line and try to rack up as many points as they can before the first person makes it past the finish line. And here are your contestants one more time. Here's the good old Ichiroku Chirorochi, the good old Jason Butterman, the good old Zane, the good old Ren, and the good old Meika. The 5 of them here will go through these 3 game boards one by one. And the first person to pass the finish line is not the winner, but it will call the end of the game, and then we will tally up our points at the end of it. Whoever has the most amount of points will be deemed the winner. And what do they get? We'll figure out after this episode. And to spice things up a little bit here, for the viewers, if you were paying zero attention to everything else besides this, now is the time to pay attention.
See you guys next week.
In order for these contestants to move across the board, they will be rolling a dice that you, my lovely viewers, can pay a certain amount of bits to roll for them instead. You think you have real bad luck with your gotcha rolls? Well, now time to cuck somebody over with your rolls as well. No bits? No problem. Don't worry, viewers. There's also a part where you can spend your points to determine who is going to go against who in certain parts of this event. So make sure to save your points, have your wallets ready, and there will be mini videos to explain each major and minor events as they come up. So please enjoy the show.
Pachi, 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 pachi. Wow, damn. Pachi, 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 pachi. Yes, we're getting a sequel in 3 years.
10 out of 10 video.
Oh, thank you. I hope you guys
3 years. I will.
It's for my 6th year, you know. You gotta double it every single time, you know. Next thing 9, next thing is 12, you know. Holy shit.
That's not doubling.
That's not doubling. That's addition, Ari.
Oh, but you're right.
Ori, please.
You know what? This is why. Okay, welcome to today's stream. Pachi, 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 pachi. Yay! Okay.
There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're gonna get into the actual board game part of everything. So for today, we're gonna have our lovely 5 kidnapped contestants. Okay, who just rolled that 6? Motherfuckers,
Immediately
I can't
a 6.
Okay, so Zane goes last. I'm not joking.
Wow.
Now, can I get everybody roll? Can I get everybody to roll a d6 really quick, and then we'll see what happens here. So Sensei's got a 6.
All right.
Okay, Ichiroko also got a 6.
What the fuck?
Jason got a 2. Okay. Ren got a 4.
Alright.
My page crashed.
Mika got a 0. But as you can see, viewers, that is indeed what you will be seeing for when they are rolling. So you can actually see their rolls live on stream, and so you can see if you can cuck them. Like, legitly.
Wow.
Like, legitly.
Wow.
Let's see,
Wow.
Hey, sure, let's roll again.
Alright, yeah.
Okay. Let's
Oh.
go. I think the 2.
Oh, okay.
It's battle.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
that's a
you're
2.
such a piece of shit.
Ooh.
Okay. Okay. So Chiro goes first. Chiro, cool. Gonna get
Bro.
Oh my god, Sensei!
Sensei's just
Rip.
matching with everyone. Okay. Who the fuck?
You roll a 1d10.
What?
What's an 80?
80.
No one. No
it's
one.
a D100. Sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Lord.
No.
No.
No. Okay. Mika, have you refreshed by chance?
Yeah.
Because you rolled a
Okay.
5.
He rolled a 5.
I rolled. I got a 5.
Oh, you got a 5. Okay. Ren and Sensei roll again. Roll again.
Okay.
Sensei rolled a 2.
Oh, to determine who's second, I guess.
Okay, Ren, roll again.
Mine.
What?
You know what? We're just gonna.
Bliss.
Ooh.
Okay, so we'll just go Ren. Who was 3?
Holy-
I didn't see 3. Fuck.
I rolled a 6. What the fuck?
Sensei's just going last, I guess.
What the fuck? I rolled
Wait, what
a 6.
Wait, hold on.
Wait.
Ari, how are you determining this? Because I rolled a 5.
Yeah, like, what's the order?
Yeah. Well, 1 is 1, 2 is 2, 3 is 3, 4 is 4,
What the
5 is 5.
What?
Oh.
Oh,
Yes.
that's how you're deciding.
Yes.
You.
Wow.
You know, going by who got the highest roll, Ari?
No, we're going by what
Ori continues to defy expectations.
Wait. But didn't Shira get a 6? So shouldn't Shira be
Wait.
lost?
Okay. Let's everybody re-roll. We'll go from highest roll. Okay. Wait. Okay, let's go highest roll. Let's go. Wait, actually, okay. Everyone roll a D100. We'll see if that will make it any better.
D100. Okay.
Or D10.
Sure.
D10.
What did
D20.
If I want to roll like ghost first or whatever, a D20 would be better.
D20.
I think.
Yeah, D20. Let's
There's no
go
D20.
Yes, there
there
is
is.
on the right. It's like small.
Right,
What's
well,
the smallest one?
I don't fucking know.
Okay. Highest looks like.
Damn,
Zane.
Zane.
Damn,
20.
Zane. Not
We're
20.
A nat 20,
Zane
motherfucker.
got a nat 20.
Zane.
Okay, so Zane.
What the hell?
Jason, Mika, Chiro, and then Ren. Okay, cool.
See, that was so much easier.
Thanks.
Okay, cool. All right, there we go. Merry Christmas. All right, there we go.
Oh my god.
good boy.
Welcome
We're
to
starting
the
really strong.
3-year anniversary.
This is a premonition of what's to come, boys.
Yeah, this is
It's not
literally what
great.
it is. This is it. Okay. All right. Cool. Yay! This is it. This is the game. All right. That's it. That's all it is. All right. You guys can leave now. Goodbye.
Determining roll order. Yay.
Yay!
Oh my god.
Yay!
Okay, so for Sensei, since you are going to be first, you are my guinea pig for the night. Merry Christmas. Go ahead and do a D6 roll, and then we'll see how many. We're gonna see how many you're gonna move for tonight. That's a 4. Okay, let's see.
Ooh.
Where are you? Where'd you go? Okay.
Where are you?
So, do you want to go green or blue?
Is that even a question?
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's not a blue.
That's not blue.
This is blue. What do you
Or
think?
can you
This
not
is
go
blue.
there?
Yeah,
Oh, you
1,
can't
2,
go there.
3, 4.
There's arrows. There's
There's
arrows.
arrows.
You're asking me which spot I land on?
No, that because there's just 2 different ways.
For each space.
there's-
Like the
there's-
first junction.
Yeah.
Then
there's-
again, it,
Oh, I have to count myself.
Yay!
No,
Dude, this is great.
One.
Can I not go green, orange, white, and then blue?
Okay.
You can? That's
There
an
you
option.
There you go.
I'm dying. Okay, cool.
This is
Okay. All right.
Oh
Welcome.
boy.
So this is going to be. Let me see. This is, I believe, this is a minor event. Oh my God! Yay! Patsy.
What does that mean?
oh, what does the minor?
This
what
is
the
what-
minor and major events?
And welcome to the video.
Hello, welcome. So
Oh,
you
another
have been
video.
my first.
Wait. Let me. Dude, where's the minor event? Minor event. There it is. Okay.
We're all
Victim of
paused.
a minor
in this.
event. Welcome. So these events are small little events that usually involves the person who have landed on the spot versus either another person or a few others, depending on which one you roll. For these events, it's pretty much a very simple 1v1, get a point, you win, stuff like that. Here are the options that you can have for these minor events. We're going to explain them one by one while we're here. So it looks like we have the word dump. The word dump's very simple. This is where pretty much the person that has rolled, and for you viewers, this is also for you. This is where the viewers get to choose who the person gets to roll against with their points.
Oh boy.
Jesus.
In this word dump, the 2 contestants will be going to pretty much get a prompt, and then they have to say one word at a time. And if the first person to hesitate will lose, and the other person will get a point. The next version is the chat goes brrr. That is pretty much that this person literally just has to read whatever chat highlights for like a whole until their next turn. Very simple, very straightforward. We love that. And the next one is a scenario change. This can be 2 people, this could be 3 people, depending, so vote for as many people as you can. This is
Okay.
pretty much where a person will get I will give a scenario for the whole improv thing, and then they'll just have to speak like they're acting out the scene. But then anytime I say change, they have to reword their last sentence to make a whole different context. For example, if they were like, like saying person one is like, I miss you, my dearly friend, and I scream, change, and it's like, you will miss me, fiend, time to die, kind of like thing, you know? It makes sense, you know? Went from like a loving friend to I'm going to murder you in your slate.
Oh, wow.
And then the last one is very simple,
Right.
very easy. So you know how I'm used to accents in these parts? Yeah, no, it's straight up,
no.
you know, speaking an accent until your next turn.
Oh,
Now that you know the rules about the minor
It's gonna
event,
be real
time to get cancelled.
wheel.
tight time to get fucking canceled, bro.
Yep.
What
All right.
bro?
Patsi. Whoa.
No.
Okay. Now that.
Hi.
Ori,
Yes.
Ori,
Yes.
you know, this is the part where you should have explained all your minor events and mini games to
That would
the
be great.
contestants beforehand.
Oh shit. You're right.
So we could, if any one of us was confused, we could have asked, but no.
And then we would have
Yeah.
heard the video afterwards. And then we'd be like a recap.
This is why.
This is baby's first game show.
Yeah.
It's fine.
This
I'm
is
so
literally
glad.
on the spot.
Yeah, it's on the spot slash cruise line, so thank God.
Oh, let's test the creativity of the VTubers, right, Ori?
Good lord.
No, that's literally what it is.
Oh God.
Good luck, guys.
Let's go. Where's the wheel?
Okay, there's the wheel.
Wheel.
Okay, cool.
Oh, no.
There's your wheel. Hit the.
Minor event.
Yay! You know what? That probably was. I probably should have done that.
Of course. And of course it's gonna be
Oh
this.
my
Oh,
god,
of
who
course
this? Let's
Who
go.
this? Which one was who this? I forget.
That just means I need to
Accent.
speak an accent. I just need to
Okay.
speak like a normal person who live in the Hong Kong, you know? Very
It's
easy.
already doing
People who
It's
live in
already
Hong Kong speak
happening.
like it's very
It's,
easy.
oh my God.
大家好，大家好，你好，你好。
Oh,
Oh,
Suddenly
no.
we don't understand everything.
suddenly we do not
Fear.
understand. Suddenly nothing makes
You
sense.
guys know, oh my
Is
god.
it supposed to be? Are you supposed to speak an accent, not actually speaking an actual a different language?
Sensei, please.
點解啊？
Sensei, please.
我想點講咪點講得關乜
Oh, she
嘢
took
事啊
it. She took it like three. She took it so far.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Oh
I will
no.
not translate. I'm sorry, guys.
We
Understood.
don't have a translator anymore.
Oh,
Alright.
understood. Okay,
Alright, what
Jace.
have you done to us?
I don't
You,
know.
you fucked us.
I'm sorry.
This is like very 正常. This is like very 正常.
Huh?
This is 正常, alright. Yeah.
This is Deng Xiong. Yes, yes.
Yeah, this is 正常, alright, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not
Okay,
supposed to. This is normal. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be translating. Sorry.
Thank you, self-appointed translator.
All right, Chiro's now the translator for the night. Thank you. Arigato
Cool.
gozaimasu.
I'm
Oh
crying.
Lord.
All right, Jason. Roll your goddamn roll.
Roll on my dice.
Roll your ass. 6.
It's a
Oh, this is
6.
really
Six.
Oh my
bad.
God.
God. Next, what the?
1,
I know you want
2,
your
3,
6, you
4,
know, 6
5,
not good.
6.
You
You
need
want
to roll a 10,
you want blue
What the
or
fuck?
You need to get
I
full
went on
marks
the white.
now.
you gotta
Well,
win
You
on
don't
the
get
white.
full marks,
Ten.
yo.
There's no
You
10.
don't get full marks, how you think you get full marks?
Wow, nothing. Wow. All right, boys, this is it. I'm tapping out. Da-da-ba-ba-da.
Wait. Jason, but if you get nothing, it means you don't have to suffer.
That's
Yes.
true.
Excellent.
Why are you complaining?
Suffer.
呢個幾好啊。
Look, we know you're a masochist, but you don't need to share it on the stream.
Yeah. Oh my god,
Jason 你會 just 幫
Jason.
薯 supper。Jason 有時咧濕薯 supper。哎
哎
呀。
呦。
Jason is a masochist.
Masochist. Jason is a masochist.
Da-da-da.
Oh my god. Who say nothing happened? Now we're just wrecking him. Okay. Now.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Mika, go
Say that
ahead.
wreck him. Yeah. Okay.
No, like
I'll let
legit
you
nothing
rock.
happens. Legit nothing happens. Mika.
Okay.
Oh, that's a 5. I think that's a green, I think. 1.
I think it's,
2,
yeah, no matter what.
4, 5. Yeah. Okay.
Green.
All right. So the
What
green
do you
is going
see?
to be forward. Do you want to do white or do you want to do blue or
Do
purple?
you want to do nothing or do you want to do
wanna-
potentially something?
You want to do potentially
Yeah.
something?
I'm gonna do white and make it boring.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Hey.
Wow.
Get wrecked. Get nothing.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. Okay. Chiro.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll a d6, please.
Wow.
Uno.
I will unlock what the heck is that green thing for everyone. Let's go.
The
There we
green
go.
one.
Yeah.
This
So
one,
that I
right?
can unlock.
Forward.
I can let everyone know what the heck are these things.
Are
If
you
it's
ready?
even the same.
Ready?
If it's color based.
Yeah.
For grade. We already knew what
But now we know what red is. Ready?
To unlock orange.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, to unlock orange. Yes.
There we go. All according to Keikaku.
Oh shit! It's
Oh, major event. It's covered by the
major
cards.
events. Okay, here we go. Let me just casually wait till
Another video.
Another
So
video.
casual.
Where did
Yes.
the major video go? There it is. Major. Okay, here we go.
You have fallen into my
The fuck,
trap
where'd it
card.
go? I
Push
can't
us up,
hear it.
Megan.
Wait, hold on, I can't hear it.
I don't hear it either.
No audio.
Wait, where did it go? Oh, I pressed on the wrong one. Okay, back it
Why
goes.
you like this? Okay.
Why you like this?
You have fallen into my trap card. Push us up, Megan. Welcome to the major event. This is usually what the whole story is about.
Megan.
Basically,
Welcome to my
everybody
Megan
is
is
included in a major event. So if the person that lands on the major event, everyone's gonna groan and point fingers at them. No, not really. Don't do that. Welcome to the major event. This involves everybody in the cast for today. There is pretty much a whole scenario where we're testing everybody's skill points in improv for today.
Wow.
There are 4 major events in these major events for today. We have the She Says What? So for this one, it says, what can you say in blank, but you can't say in blank? Chat votes for the best scenario, and then whoever wins gets 1 point. So an example is kind of like, what can you say about or during a driving lesson, but not in bed? Oh shit, I forgot to change the rubber. And then our second major event is going to be the sentence. Pretty much we will roll for the order, see who goes when, and then the goal is to say a sentence and add on to the scenario, and then the first person to say a sentence that doesn't quite make sense loses. This is a max of 5 minutes. Okay, y'all can't keep talking for 20 minutes. All right, we got a strict time limit here. The third one is going to be a mind meld. This is kind of somewhat people have seen before. The host, aka moi, will give the party a category, and on the count of 3, everybody says some first thing that comes to their mind. Any players that have matching words will just get -1, and everybody else will just stay the same. Y'all are basic. This is only about dragging people down. No, I'm joking. And then the last one is
What are you
it's gonna be a fun one.
Man, we
It's
can't
called
see the
nonsense.
video.
Oh my shit!
Yeah, I had to go to the Twitch to see it.
Lines
I'm
from
watching at the Twitch.
The
Yeah.
Onion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I will provide the articles hand-picked and hand-selected for the people in the party.
Oh my
So,
god.
You're
Everybody will get a point for that
fine.
regardless.
Looks like
And
them
so,
too.
welcome to the major event. I hope you guys enjoying. Let's get rolling.
Oh no.
Oh boy,
I
are
am
you guys
crying.
ready? I'm so
Fuck.
sorry for the video not being correct. All right. Yeah, it's streaming in Discord for them as well. I'm going Benz.
Oof.
So, welcome to the wheel.
Wrong wheel.
Wrong wheel.
Not the
I was like confused because I was like, wait a second. Oh, wait a second. That says the wrong one.
What the
Fanfic.
fuck? Why is there a
fanfic.
fanfic?
No.
Oh,
no.
no.
Whenever we see Ori in
Non-
her natural habitat,
Here we see a
single
natural
word.
ori in a habitat,
Yabai. Yes.
unable to spell
No,
words.
you
None.
want me to write a plan? Okay, I write one right now for you.
God.
I write
no.
one about Ori kissing the wheel, okay?
No, stop that.
Let's go.
No. No.
X wheel.
No. All right, let's see what it's going to be. Please make it easy so that we don't all die in like 2
Did you just
seconds.
say none?
Motherfucker.
Yes, okay, let's
What's
go.
non?
Okay, well,
None.
okay, welcome to none.
I forget which
Okay,
one.
I'm gonna-
My reading comprehension is non-existent.
There you go. Let me
The whole
grab.
player.
Oh, great.
Nice.
Let me grab the thing.
Where's the article?
Really quick, I'm grabbing the article for everybody.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
All right.
Oh,
Scared
boy, oh,
about
boy.
what's in the article. Is it fanfic disguised as
Is
an
it
article?
Okay.
Damn, bro.
Chiro, where are you? This is you.
What do you mean, where am I?
And then,
Where are you?
and then.
Oh, we have different ones? What?
Yes, you do. And then Jason, where are you?
Do we just pick lines from them, or do we have to go like pick a specific one, or?
You can.
Is
you
it a
can.
sentence?
You can pick literally. You just have to read. Anytime you try to reply to somebody, you have to reply with a line from any of the lines in the article.
Why you send me
itself.
3?
Because it's not enough to just have one.
Oh, you know what? That makes sense. But I
Okay.
can't read.
Where's Sensei? Where'd you go? Okay, cool. All right. So for 3 minutes, you get to have a very lovely What the? Oh, okay. Why did you actually make a fanfic, Lama? Hold up. Hold up.
Oh
Okay.
God,
All right.
this is chaos.
Okay, so for 3 minutes, let me go ahead and put the countdown time. Oh, that's a little too long. That's a little too long. For 3 minutes. So oh, reset. Okay, cool. All right. So Jason, how's your day going?
This shouldn't be happening. It isn't right. Can somebody here help? I really need some help.
Is that in your article?
Yes, it is.
Oh my god, Mika, how's your day going?
I think I sneezed once.
Sensei, how's your day going?
Oh.
Jesus Christ, that thing is disgusting.
So Ren, how's your day going? So Ren, how's your day going?
Yeah, that's it. Zoom in. Now thrust. God, what a sexy man.
I've purchased 37 shares in Stanley Parent Company Heavy and am generating organic enthusiasm to juice future returns.
What are your thoughts about that, Sensei?
It's just like spending a few minutes, like a day on the toilet, it's like drastically improved her mental and physical health.
How do you think about the toilet, Jason?
I don't really have any use for a kid right now. Who knows though? Maybe for the right price, I'll take the little tyke home.
So Ren, how do you think about the little kid?
That's why they call him Mr. Entertainment.
Oh.
So Mika, how are you feeling about all of this?
As an alpha would never step into public with fewer than 20.
So Chiro, how do you feel about that, Chiro?
It helps me meet my consumerism goals.
Mr. Entertainment? Okay, Ren, how do you feel about that?
Well, with all due respect to the man of the household, would be the utmost honored to take your hand in marriage.
Okay, Jason, how do you feel about that?
You know, at press time, much like the German cannibal, the pigeon was said to have developed a peculiar and ravenous taste that could only be satiated by murdering and devouring its own kind.
What did I give you? So, Mika, how do you feel about that? Oh, okay, cool. Never mind. Would you like to say a last sentence before we end here, Mika?
I'm just glad we found a way to make It's Just Not a Good Fit sound meaner.
Understood. Okay,
What are these fucking articles, man?
They're from The Onion, my guy. I don't know what to tell you.
God.
I like that one of the sentences is worse yet. You cover them in dainty hairs.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Okay, so that is your first major event. Everybody gets points for this. As you can see, we're gonna go ahead and look at the scoreboard
Points
really
on
quick
the
here.
board.
So, who is roosting the hardest? Everybody gets a point for today. So, yay, Patsy, that is your first.
Oh my god, everyone
Woo!
wins!
Major event, go!
Oh my
All
god.
right.
Yay, we get participation trophies.
Participation, yeah, it really is.
And DJ
I
Joe,
等，Ori, where my point？
you
我
are.
point 仲未有 point 嘛？
My point, the
my
point right there.
point 一啊嘛？
What do you mean? Oh, for the. Oh yeah, you're right. There you go.
Oh my
Okay, there you
god.
go.
I can't
my
believe
god,
it's-
that.
There you
Oh
go.
my God,
For your
Zane's in
minor event.
first.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Post
perfect.
adjust.
Okay, I'm adjusting. I'm adjusting. Okay, all right. Okay, welcome. So now it's going to be Ren's turn. Wait, let me check. Wait, no, is it Ren's
嘛，
turn?
嗰
Wait,
時 the dog turn。
yeah, it's
Oh my
Ren's
God.
turn. Go ahead and roll a
Oh
d6 for
my
me
god.
Oh my.
How long do I have to speak like this?
till your
Until
next
your
turn.
next
Next turn.
Oh, okay.
6! Join us on the white, Ren.
Do you want the white or do you want the purple, Ren?
That's
That's blue.
purple.
There's a purple.
Oh,
Blue,
you're
isn't it?
right.
It's blue or purple.
Tori!
Okay.
What the fuck?
It's blue.
Okay, do you want the blue or do you want the white, Lama?
Let's go to blue.
Okay,
Ooh.
Ren. So for you today, it is going to be.
Oh god.
Oh, here you go.
Wow.
Isn't,
Just go
isn't
backward
that
and then
backwards?
forward.
Go to forward and then
What
backwards.
is that? You're forcing. What?
What's going on? So you're just I have original choice.
We never had a choice in the beginning, boys.
Choice is
Free will
choice
is
is
not.
a fucking lie.
Free will is a fucking
Free
lie.
will is just an illusion.
Free will is just an illusion. All right, Fuzzy. Thank you.
Is enjoying her throne up as God here, I see. Jesus.
Hairy
Yeah.
lips.
Don't worry, we'll get her back at some point.
Oh,
Mhm.
what do you mean? Huh? Are you gonna knock me down my throne?
Yes.
Hey.
Okay,
Hey.
Sensei, go ahead and roll a d6 for me, Lama.
Hey, wait.
Drinking
it's free.
coffee.
Oh my god. Oh, I forgot the
Oh.
music. Oh, there's a 4. 1, 2,
Four.
3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you get nothing? Where you go?
I get nothing too.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh wait, I
you
don't
get...
have to speak like this, do I anymore?
Oh
Okay.
my god.
No, you
Yes.
do not.
Accent.
Get
is
wrecked.
done.
Okay, now you're normal. Welcome. Congratulations.
Now
Okay.
you're normal. Wow, you can't just tell people they're normal.
So
Wow.
anyone who speaks with an accent isn't normal. Sasuka Americans.
Wow.
Sasuke!
Americans, oh, you're so
You're
right.
so right, though.
Oh
Oh
my
god,
God.
you're so
Right.
right.
So
Call the
right.
American out.
Oh,
I am suddenly no longer an American. Hello.
changing citizenship.
I am now suddenly part of the water. Goodbye.
Get in the water.
Fuck. What was the next line? Get in the water. And insert
This
more
is just
lyrics.
in the water.
Yeah, it literally is just get in the water. Get in the water. Okay, I'm getting in the
Say.
water. Shit. All right, Jason. Also,
All
remember,
right.
viewers, you can cock block their rolls if you want to pay for their cock block roll 3. Okay.
Tres.
Yes.
You just get to wait here until
You get-
everybody gets to
Yeah.
everybody gets there because we have a round
Man,
2.
this
soon.
sucks.
Get fucked. Get fucked. Now you just wait there. Lamau
Yeah.
get
Swimming
nothing.
now.
Get nothing. Okay, cool. All right, Mika. It is in. If you look at my. Oh, okay, Mika. Oh, Mika.
Oh.
Oh,
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 Mika.
red it is.
Oh, major.
Oh,
Why
red.
is this
Another major event.
Oh, no.
another major event? Wait, why
This
is
dice is really heavy. Thank you.
Yes. No, with bits.
Let me hold that
The
for you,
points are
King.
something different. The points are
Points are
something
different?
Yes, points are for
Ooh.
1v1. So the bits one for the rolls is in the
Ah.
component down below.
Oh.
So when it's
Mm.
somebody's turn, if you do the thing, it should roll for them. Hopefully, I didn't get to test this out because I had no one to spend money with. But we'll figure it out.
Damn! Just after Valentine's Day tree already.
Damn, bro.
Tell us your main list without telling us your main
Calling
list.
yourself.
Okay, I'm sorry, I made it list shit.
Emotional.
Fuck emotional damage.
Holy
goddamn.
fuck, that's loud.
The audacity right now. I cannot believe. Okay, and then so for major event, I cannot believe is we're gonna go ahead and this is the major event. This is no, this is not the major event. Okay,
Bruh.
major event.
There.
Here we go.
And that way.
There we go. And Mika has done the sentence dump. Oh my goodness
Shit.
gracious me! If you forgot what sentence dump was, it is going
And
to
we did.
it is going to be roll for the order. So pretty much I will give you a prompt and then you have to say a sentence to the story, and if it doesn't make sense, you lose, and then everybody else gets a point except for you.
A sentence,
Wow.
not a word,
A
right?
sentence, a whole sentence.
Yeah, word is a different one.
Yes, a whole sentence. All right, so for everybody currently right now, can you go ahead and roll me a d20? And then we'll go
Alright.
in order.
Alrighty.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Let's
Okay.
go.
I learned something just now, and I nearly made things very bad.
Oh.
Skill issue.
10 sentence order. Okay, it looks like it's going to be.
Ren and I probably have to roll again.
Yes, you do.
Are we do?
Rough.
Okie dokie.
We both got 16.
Hi.
9. I like how Ichiro
Rengo.
literally only got a 17.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then 2 of them get.
Chiro Ren Mika.
Wait. Is it what Chiro? Wait, shit.
Chiro's first, isn't it? Wait, what's Zane's role? Couldn't see
No,
what's
wait,
We were
what's
just
Zane's
re-rolling to... Oh, okay. Are we re-rolling it to...
Why can't I see your rolls? Oh no, no,
It's
no.
gone.
Because
Skill
we
issue.
pick it
It's
up.
gone, because we
No.
cleared it, probably.
Oh god. Okay,
Yeah.
wait.
It's gone.
Wait.
Dude. Deep.
Wait. Sorry. Can everybody re-roll really quick?
Yeah.
Christ.
Okay.
Okay,
Alright.
and then
Oh,
we
boy.
don't take it back first, okay? We
Okay,
don't
okay.
take it back.
Yes.
I didn't click anything, Mom.
I think it was set to 10
Well.
seconds, and I was like, what the fuck?
8.
Probably.
I'll just remember my number. It's okay.
Whoops, I rolled 2 by
Right.
accident.
How many
Oh my
rolls?
Jason!
Jason!
Jason! You cannot use that to cheat!
See, that is also what I nearly did last time, because I
Okay.
realized if you click on it more than once, it
There,
gives you more.
6.
Cool. Okay, so
Oh.
first one is Ren, and then we
Damn,
have
Ren.
the Mika at 17, and then we have the Zane at
I
12,
have 12. Oh.
and then we have the where'd they go? Where'd it go?
I'm
Where's the-
9.
And then
Don't worry, I'm
9 for
last.
Let's see, next.
Ichiroku,
I'm 9. Yep.
Shiro, and then Jason. Okay.
Alright.
This is going to
6.
be your sentence order for today. We're gonna go ahead and
Oh,
just
God.
turn this off really quick here. All right. So, for your first major event, let us see what I can give you guys. Sentence.
Second
dump.
major event.
Second major event.
First.
Sorry.
Second.
Well, second. Well, first
Third.
major
Yes,
sentence.
second.
dump. No, stop gaslighting me!
7.
Yes, what the fuck do you mean?
We already did the major event.
4.
No.
2.
First sentence dump event.
First,
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
yes,
Okay.
first
Yes,
sentence
yes.
There we
major
go.
dump event. Yes.
Watch me miss this completely.
So this is Ren's, right? So this is Ren. Watching the bracken snap Ren's neck for the 5th time tonight, the Nutcracker is coming right up behind the party.
What?
You must say a sentence that adds to the story. You can either do it first person, third person, or any person, but you must add something to.
You could do any person, damn, okay.
Okay.
You can do any
I'm doing
person.
a bracken. I mean, oh,
Sorry,
you said
could
that.
you paste the line down?
Yes.
I don't get it.
What's the prompt again?
Yeah, exactly. What was it?
Oh wait, shit. Let me. Is this? Wait. Oh no, I forgot to do the
This
thing.
is so great.
ちょっと待って. Wait, let me. Oh,
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
let me.
Take your time.
Where'd it go? Where'd the prompt go? Oh, there it is.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh.
For the 5th time tonight.
Oh, for the 5th time.
Let me.
For the 5th?
So, classic MLC night.
Yep.
Yes.
Wait, does Cheryl know we?
Yeah, that's my question.
No.
Okay,
but it's
here
okay.
we go. There we go.
Here is.
Chiro, all you need to know is it's a monster fucker thing.
Okay.
Yes.
There you go.
Alright.
Is it like Kraken but not?
No.
Just imagine those two things are monsters.
Imagine a Slender
Okay.
Man.
A Slender
Okay,
Man, but
okay,
like
okay.
tree.
The
Okay.
bracken is the
Yes.
Slenderman, but the Nutcracker is
Tree.
a different one. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Also a monster, don't worry about it.
Also monster, yes.
Cool.
Okay, here we go.
So,
Alright.
Ooh. Okay,
okay. All right.
so I start.
Yes, you
Yeah.
have to start.
Okay.
Startle.
So, Taco.
Guys, he's coming for me. Oh.
No. I mean, that's a sentence.
That is indeed a sentence! That is indeed a sentence!
Yeah, she's coming. Oh.
Oh shit! Everyone, Ren is dead again.
Wait. We can check on the walkie to see if he's dead. Ren, are you dead?
Ren, answer us!
Mm-hmm.
Guys, there's a fucking nutcracker behind us. We better fucking hurry.
Ren does not answer. He simply has perished. Surely.
Wait, quick! There's a corner here. We can get around and get away from the nutcracker.
Oh, was I muted?
Oh,
Hi.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, don't worry. I have a shovel. I got this.
I'm just gonna go and hide. Goodbye.
That's probably wise. I'll hide with Mika around the corner.
Unbeknownst to the group, Ren is just watching from heaven, I guess. From Monsterfuck heaven, watching as the Nutcracker slowly creeps out from behind
That
Jason.
is a very long sentence. What the heck?
There's lots of comments. Don't worry about it.
it's just commas over commas over
This is
commas.
very. It's a run-on sentence. It's fine.
Zane, I believe in you. I can't see the nutcracker anymore.
Okay, Zane runs in with her shovel and she just starts smacking. She can't see, but she's smacking.
Good luck, Sensei! I'm rooting for you here in the dark! Woo!
Zane, you're hitting me! You're hitting me! Ah! Jason dies and joins Ren up in the heavens.
Up in the heavens? Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, hey, Jason, what up? What happened? I mean, never mind, I actually saw what happened.
Zane, Chiro, Jason, guys.
Jason's dead. Someone get his body, please.
Wait, what do you mean Jason's dead? Where is his body? What?
Yeah, you know, it's oddly peaceful up here, and it's better than being down there, you know?
You know what? That's true. Hey, you want to meet my new husband? He's right here.
Okay, I don't know where everyone went. Maybe if I go, ah!
I think I heard Mika. Chiro, are you still there?
Chiro is, unbeknownst to everybody, is also dead, but she didn't know she died because this is the first time she played the game.
Oh, hey, guys. Hey, funny to see you all here. Oh, I guess Mika's fucked up.
Hey, where'd Mika go? Was he? Oh, well, okay. Guess it's just saying. Oh, there's a snare flea.
Fucking jumps again. Hi, guys.
Okay. I have realized the flaw in this design.
Yeah, we can go on
Yeah,
forever.
thank you.
It's
I have,
okay.
Thank you.
I have realized the flaw in this
This is
design.
incredibly flawed.
I have realized the flaw. You know what? We're just gonna give everyone the point. Yay! Fuzzy!
Winning.
Yay! Scoreboard! Wow! Everybody gets a point. Yay! Watch it go up in one. Okay. All right. So I guess the major points is just gonna be in.
I was gonna start yelling at Aura to teleport me back.
Oh.
Yes.
I should not teleport you back. I'm so sorry. But
What
Okay.
the ship go-
huh?
Aren't you in the ship?
Not anymore.
Wow.
I'm gone now.
Wow.
Okay, well, I got whose turn was it? Who did
It's
just-
mine.
Bro.
I think.
Oh,
I think it's mine.
Was it?
no.
Oh, you need to change
No?
out of the sentence order.
Oh wait, yes,
and
I
go
was
back
like,
to
I was like, that looks
order.
wrong.
Oh, wait,
There we go.
oh.
Okay, okay.
Oh.
Mika
So
is- Yep, it is true.
It is true.
Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
there we go.
Yeah. still me. Yeah.
All right, go ahead and
Where's
roll.
Cheryl all the way in the back?
5, 1, 2, 3,
Let you come over.
4, 5.
Wow,
You have
join
the
me in the
choice.
seas.
You have a
Jason,
choice.
that's the sky.
It blue. It's fine. The sky is the sea for some.
1, 2, 3,
You either get the orange or the you get a minor, you get the major one, the orange one, or you get a minor. You get the blue one.
Oh fuck! I want neither one.
I don't want any
the
of this.
minor one
The
then.
minor one. Okay, give it up for the minor event. Here we go. Yay!
Bring out
All
the
right,
wheel.
bring out the wheel. Here we go.
What am I gonna get?
Ooh.
Word dump.
Okay, welcome to the
Basically what we did, but
word
words,
dump.
just words.
But just
Oh,
word,
no.
but
Single
oh,
words.
shit. But for this time, oh, wait, what the fuck? Where? What? Oh, there it is. For word dump, take turns. Each player will say a word to try to convey a story. The first person to hesitate will lose. So, as you can see here, we're gonna go ahead and move over to the to where did you go? Yuchiro, right? Where did you go?
What? What?
Loading screen.
So here's the thing, like she was on Twitch and then she went over to YouTube and then she
All right. So who the hell voted already? Okay, this is where viewers you can vote for. Where the fuck is the counter? For viewers, if you look at to your points, you can see it's Jason, Mika, Ren, Zane, Random, and the. So for the next like 3 seconds. 4 seconds?
We
You
can
can
actually
vote who
vote for
gets to
Ori?
fight Chiro.
We can vote.
Okay,
Can we just vote for
because already
Ori?
doing Zane. There's one vote. There's one vote for Zane. There is an 2 votes for Zane. Oh, there's a
I'm gonna
random.
die. I'm gonna die.
There's a random. There is no
Ooh.
limits on how much you can vote as well. So vote for whoever the fuck you want today, and make it
Oh, God.
easier for me so that I don't have to worry about it. We're gonna go ahead and close it in the next give or take 10 seconds. So get your votes in now, guys.
Spam your points,
Jesus
boys.
Christ, there's a lot of randoms.
7,
We'll
6,
let RNG decide.
5,
5.
4, 3, Jesus Christ, 2.
What the fuck?
Jesus, okay, guys, Jesus, okay. You got
Time.
time. Okay,
Yay.
stop
Pretty
your
much
rolls.
time.
Stop your
Yo.
rolls. Guys, stop it.
Bro, what the fuck?
Bro, what the
Bro,
fuck?
why do I have 7 votes, bro?
111720.
What, 7? Oh boy. All right. Well, I
I'm glad
guess.
we do it, but bro.
Well, we'll see if it'll actually be you or not with the random 20
Yeah.
out of 7. So let's see.
It will laugh if it ends up landing on
Hey.
Shiro.
Oh god.
If this thing lands on
Cheryl versus
myself,
Cheryl.
Chiro
no,
versus
it
Chiro.
will be me. It will be me
Handshakes.
versus Ori because Ori.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No, this is not.
Exactly.
This is not how it
It's
works.
100% how it
No.
works.
This is 100% not how it works.
Yes.
I love democracy.
We changed
4
the
versus
rules.
5 is
This
This is
1.
no. That's not how this works. You know what? Yeah, this is
Roll
not
that
how
wheel,
it works.
Ori. And then learn it
Yeah,
yourself.
No.
If it
Don't
lands
be
on
afraid
Shiro.
of it.
No.
Okay, guys. We can rebel. We can refuse.
Anyways,
No, she took away the double. So
she did.
we rebel.
It's on Zane anyway.
No,
We do
rebel.
not wish to play the game anymore.
No. It was on Zane anyways.
Okay.
It's on Zane anyways. Okay.
Oh no.
Only because you removed the extra option.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh god.
Tisk.
Where is the Ichiroku-san? Okay. Wait. Nope. That you. Wait.
What?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Ting ting wala wala bing bing ooh ah.
Where did Shiro's food
What do you mean?
Swooping
Shut the
is like,
fuck up.
that's racist.
Jason, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
Oh, everyone's
okay.
here.
Okay, there we
Oh.
go. I totally didn't. Where'd you? Why can't you get? Okay, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go.
I'm scared.
Okay. And then your prompt for today is going to be.
Oh, thank God we have a prompt. Okay.
Dear FedEx, I have not
What's the FedEx?
received. Dear
Delivery
mailman,
service.
dear mailman,
Thanks.
I have not received my package. You must say one word per person.
Oh,
Alright,
it's only
so-
one per person. Okay.
It's one word per person, and it's going to be Chiro goes first because Chiro's the one that has to fight, and then you keep going until.
Oh, we're fighting? I thought we were working together.
Yeah, you
Okay.
are working together.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're working
But we're
together.
fighting?
Are you working together?
but kind of fighting.
But kind of fight.
It's both.
Okay.
It's both. Just let it happen.
Okay.
So you must work together to continue this
Fight the
problem.
mailman.
Yeah, fight the mailman,
Yes.
pretty much.
Does it have to be grammatically correct?
Yes! Yes, it does!
Can it be Asian?
This sounds understandable. I think.
To be understandable, yes!
Asian.
I understand
my
your
God.
frustration at the mailman, but damn! Okay!
You'll
Alright!
be surprised at my first word. Okay, cool. Let's go.
Okay. I'm ready.
It has
I'm
to
ready.
be in English, okay? So you're
Okay.
gonna go, and just go for it. You got like,
Is this
just go for
English?
it.
I don't know, man. Okay,
I
cool.
don't know either.
Just go for it.
Oi!
I thought it was. I'm gonna drink a lay. I'm okay.
A word, my friend, a word! I will give the point to Chiro instantly! A word!
Wow. Great improv.
That's about it.
Thanks.
That did not
That was
last
so
long.
good,
No,
bro.
it did not. Okay. Try again.
That was a mulligan. We're calling mulligan.
Okay.
There we go.
That didn't
Now
happen.
practice so we understand how it works.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool,
Dear
cool.
mailman, I've not received my package. Go, Chiro, go. Dozzle.
Hello,
You?
bastard.
Ow.
Dare
You
not
give
my
package
like
a
minute
earlier.
like
It
should
have
be
done
by
you.
so
Can
you
tell
me
where
the
fuck
is
my
package
right
like
now?
please
Actually,
you
can
just
pay
me
the
fuck
Wait, I think that's two words. I think that was 2 words.
Wait, what's 2 words?
I heard the fuck. Wait.
no, just say
What?
fuck
Oh, is
and
it
then-
fuck?
Oh,
I'm
never mind.
sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Futzy. They'll both get a point.
That's
That's the joke. They both get a point. Yay!
The nature of improv is no one fucking loses.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Everything's made up, but the points don't matter.
I like
Yup.
that we have the same mindset.
We had like the same vibe.
Yeah.
Everybody was angry.
Everybody was
My
angry.
package.
Where the fuck is my package? Alright, Futzy.
Clap.
Yay.
Claps.
Thank you.
By the way,
Yeah.
Ari,
Yeah.
you
Say
forgot
high
to give
five.
us our name tags back.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, what name tags? There you go. There's a name
There you
tag.
Oh.
What name tags?
What name tags? They're
We
unknown
don't need
named
name
people
tag.
that I just dragged in. Oops, I dragged
Some
it for today.
randoms you pulled off the street.
Yeah, I just kidnapped them. Was like, hey, come here.
Or maybe the left one is Zane, you know. And then Jason, and then Mika. Oh, I'm the same? Oh, okay.
You're just the same. You're just the same.
I'm the same.
No. The person in the roll order is named Churro. Who the name tag says Ichiroku. Who the fuck is that? Like, oh my god.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Who the fuck? Oh my god.
Imposter.
God.
This is an imposter
Who let this
anyway.
person in?
Oh my, who let this person in? I know, course.
Who's this guy?
Oh my god.
Oh my
I'm a
god.
dear.
Who you?
Who you? All right, Ren.
Let's go.
Okay.
Roll
Roll.
the dice.
Ren. All you get is a major event.
Ren! Wow!
Major
We have to suffer.
Everybody suffers in your major event.
Oh.
Yep.
Alright, here we go.
Just know this is you, brother.
This is what you get for the
I am
major event.
currently burying myself.
Here we go. Oh,
Oh no!
Oh, Mind Meld. Mind Meld's an easy one, right?
Mind Meld.
Oh.
Mind Meld.
One. Yeah.
All right, this is where I will
Oh,
be giving you
no.
guys a category, and on the count of 3, everybody says what comes to their mind.
Yeah, see? It's easy.
That's easy.
And then
Any players?
Told ya.
-1?
that
If you
that
match
is supposed
-1.
that's supposed to say
Yes.
no points. I'm sorry. That's supposed to say no points. My bad.
Ah.
To me.
Are you sure about that?
Wait, we're not supposed to mind meld?
So we're not
No,
supposed
you're
to.
not.
Okay.
You're not
Yes,
supposed
you're
to
not
be
supposed
basic
to.
a
This is-
match.
I thought we were supposed to. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
No,
That's
not
good
for-
to know because I also thought it was because mind meld means we have to
Yeah.
pick the same.
Yeah.
Oh.
Alright.
So
Sorry.
Ori doesn't want us to unite. She
Ori.
wants us to battle against each
Yes,
other. I
it's a
see
battle
now. I see
royale.
now.
It's a battle royale. All right.
Wow,
This is where
Ori.
we can win points.
Oh,
Okay.
they're supposed to be friends, not enemies.
Okay, so
See about
Ori.
that? Yes.
There are no friends in this game.
So for your version, this version of Mind Meld, not supposed to.
You're not supposed to. If you match with somebody, you don't get a point, and everybody else gets a point.
Match equals bad.
Okay.
Got it.
Yes. Okay, and then we keep going until somebody gets a match on accident, and then we.
What?
go
That could
from
be
there.
very long.
Oh no, we can just do
Nah.
one,
Okay.
and everyone gets a point, probably.
Okay, we could. Okay, let's do. Okay, fine, we'll do that. Okay, I'll accept those terms.
I was
Okay.
gonna say, what about if it's like best of 3?
That's
Okay.
that makes sense.
The
I
best
think
of 3 makes sense.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. All right, are you guys ready?
Considering it's major.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll say 3, 2, 1, go, and then you say it on go. Okay.
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 Ready?
Okay.
Okay.
So the category is going to be drinks. 3, 2, 1, go!
Coca-Cola.
Ginger ale.
Coconut milk? When I was saying coconut.
Coca-Cola milk. My favorite.
I can't tell if that was the best green.
Delicious.
The best.
I can't. I feel like they should
No.
DM you your no, but it's funnier this way.
Yeah. I like the coconut milk. All right.
With cola with coconut and milk.
That's no.
Mm.
No.
Yeah. I agree. It's a new drink, Ori. It's a
Yeah.
fusion drink.
It's your
Yeah.
Just say
mixer.
no to
Come on.
everything.
No.
That's
no.
not how improv works.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how does that work, Gabe?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
We'll just accept. We'll just pretend that coconut
Okay.
milk is accepted.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Just round 2. Okay. The topic is going to be countries. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Japan.
Thailand.
Yeah.
I heard Japan, Malaysia. Huh? I heard Thailand. And then.
I said Russia.
Okay,
I said
that's-
Thailand.
Okay, so okay, no, I don't think anyone was matching.
No match.
And then the third round is going to be car brands. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Mitsubishi.
BMW.
Fuck! Ran!
All right.
Oh my
So
god.
Shit.
1 for Mika, 1 for Zayden, 1 for Ichiroku.
Ren, fuck us. Ren, you
There
came in second.
we go.
You fucking
You
Sia
bastard.
bitch.
You fucking see
Okay, alright. That's about it. Okay, Sensei, you have no choice. You don't get to roll.
Wow.
What the fuck?
You don't get to roll. Okay, you just get to wait there. Oh wait, no, the next one's just gonna be a white one, so literally nobody gets to roll. Okay, we're just gonna keep moving.
No, we
everybody.
still have to. No, we still have to roll. We still have to get off the board.
No, but it's just a. Okay, you want to roll for what?
We still have to get off the board.
But it's the white one. Is
That's
nothing.
empty.
But we still haven't gotten to the end of the board.
That's the end of the board.
That is the end of the board.
Why are we edging the board?
Okay.
Of course
okay.
you'd say that, Mika. Of course.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Wow.
We'll put Zane back. Okay. All right. You want to roll, Zane?
No.
Okay. She just automatically moved.
Oh my god.
Jason doesn't get to
Yes,
move.
I'm just gonna get off the board.
Mika, do you want to roll?
Does our roll like
Does it
pass
carry
on to the
over or
next
does
board?
not?
No, it does not. Not.
Oh,
Oh, it doesn't fucking
Oh,
matter.
then it fucking matter, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly. That's what. Yeah, that's what I
You
was
didn't
like.
say that though. You didn't
Whee!
explain that.
So your rolls do not move
Yeah.
over to the next board, so everybody starts again. And then we have round 2. Oh, no one saw that.
I was there again.
No one saw that. Okay. Where did you all guys go? Okay, here we go. All right.
Oh my gosh, it's afternoon.
Oh my god, it's
the sun
afternoon.
is
Wow.
stunning.
Oh wow.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Since we all moved to round 2, we're gonna go ahead and start from the beginning one more time. So Sensei, you do have to roll them out. Okay, Sensei gets
I
a roll.
mean, now I roll.
Now you roll.
I can't find the dice page.
Okay, do you want green
Blue.
or purple?
Blue.
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 Okay, do you want green or blue?
I mean, either way, I'm gonna land on like blue, right?
No, because
I don't know.
Oh, so then it
because
might go back. Okay, I'll go to green.
the dark blue sends you back one because it's backwards.
So.
Oh, is it backwards?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it backwards? All right,
don't
forwards.
remember, but-
The
Yes.
minor event.
Wee!
Whee!
Ba-da-ba-ba.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay.
Boy.
All right, so here we go. Oh,
Spoon.
where's the spoon? This one. Here we go. No, not silk with milk. No. We're not doing that.
What?
Silk.
Silk with what?
You know the silk branch?
Right.
Okay.
Brother, let's go.
Okay, so
Oh,
is the good
no.
old chat go Bert. Sensei gets all the whack ones. So chat, this is your time to shine. She must
Oh,
speak
no.
anything or whatever chat highlights until her next turn. You must keep it
Oh,
PG.
no. Oh,
Okay,
that
you
could
cannot
be
make her say
real bad.
something, some whack ass shit. You have permission to not say things, by the way, Sensei. But
No,
guys, okay?
POS breaking, no,
No.
like cancelable thing.
no cancelable things. All right,
Let's
okay.
be civil, boys.
All right, but she must speak whatever chat highlights until her next turn. So chat, go wild.
Does that mean I have to only say it, or can I say other stuff as well?
You can say other things, but when it pops up, you must also speak it.
You're a gigantic piece of shit. Oh, see, I like being able to say other shit. How do I is the cutest butterfly girl?
Oh.
Doors up and stream.
Oh.
How do I end or stream?
No, you cannot end the stream.
Go to her house. click the
Sensei
stream
about to
button,
get up from her chair out the forest.
Fly to
and into the-
Malaysia.
Fly the jet.
Yeah, I'm gonna fly to Malaysia. It's not that far away.
Oh god.
Christ.
Okay. Well, while she's doing that, Jason, go ahead and roll.
Brrr, where are my dice? Roll.
5. 1,
Five.
2, 3,
Lima.
4, 5. All right.
What
Jason.
is that?
Alright. Oh god, what the
1, 2,
frick?
3.
Can't
Good luck,
see.
Jason, because apparently, you know, I am like the
no.
most fantastic, like, talented person who has like great ideas and works very hard. Like, I'm like Ori here. Oh my god. explain the game to us? Oh my gosh. but it's okay because now I love always. She's like, how do I read that? Shum, poor Sean, yeah.
Oh god.
I like how I went with very serious, making Zane take compliments, and then Sirius just like, ooh.
Rose was like, ooh,
We posted at the same time. Did you know that?
Christ.
Oh my gosh, totally. Yeah, you need to remember, like, for Ori's 3rd year anniversary to use the product code Help Me for 10% off the next order on all merchandise.
There's 2 that is missing.
What the frick is Jason minor event? Give him his stupid minor
But
event!
you're missing 2! You're missing 2 of them! There's 2.
Yeah, but I'm gonna keep doing it while you do stuff.
Oh, okay! Okay! Yes, yeah, okay, yes, mother!
He does not know how talking works.
Mother event! There's a mother event! Okay, yes, okay, sorry, my bad!
And the wheel!
I'm spinning! No! Wait, watch is also the... Oh.
Have you heard of the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy
Word
XIV,
number.
where Jason has to word dump all over the screen, but that's not very hygienic because Jason, please don't word dump all over the screen.
Alright!
Jason, go that
Oh,
dumpy,
why
huh?
are you so tiny?
What the fuck?
Okay!
Why am I small?
Why are you so tiny?
What do you mean?
Jason.
Why are you so tiny?
Jason.
Why am I small?
But it's
You
okay,
are
I'm gonna be swearing
staying
off Gacha
small.
soon. Don't worry about it.
I
Oh,
forgot to sing a song.
Oh,
But
no.
okay.
Okay,
Oh,
I
no.
don't know how
so...
to sing, I just know that says yeah, anyway.
Oh, okay, people want... Okay, it looks like people want to go against Ren. Oh, okay, there's a lot of... Oh, there's a Zane, Oh, there's a Ren. Oh,
we are
boy.
rivals in this improv game.
Stop.
You've caused this.
Oh boy, it looks like there's a hard leaning for Ren tonight.
Oh my
If you put
god.
me in a room, like it was a rubber room, like oh my gosh, like the rubber
boy.
room,
Oh
the
god.
rats.
Crazy.
The rats had
Most
funny,
craziness.
silly hats. They were pointy hats, and they were like had red hair and like blue hair. It looked a little bit like Ori, if you asked me. And these rat Oris made me crazy.
My god. Oh, okay. Oh, it looks like Zane's
Oh.
slowly catching up though.
What the fuck?
Excuse me, I'm dying. Is it working? Think it work? Okay. Oh! Is Zane gonna catch up to Ren? Is Zane gonna catch up to Ren?
Oh,
Okay, ready?
Right, Ren's
Five,
the imposter.
4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to be Ren with the final 20.
Thank god I don't have to fight Zane.
Oh
Fuck.
my god! That's a lot of red.
That's a lot of Ren. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be Jason and Ren. Here we go.
Oh,
We're gonna go
God.
ahead and transition into the. Oh, where the fuck did you guys go? Where?
Gone.
Where?
I can say the first 2 lines because that third part is not Tio.
Oh God. I don't know where Ren's Fugi went.
Mika.
Oh god.
So-
to edit
What
out
the fuck is
the-
this?
US stuff.
So I
can
guess
delete,
no one gets the.
Oh, and there's no G. It's not
Oh,
Gong anymore. It's Ong Si La Tai.
I missed
You're
the
the
G.
dragon. You know what that means, you cheap powering little hackers, You're gonna get your bum over here to
Jesus.
Sensei's classroom, and then you're gonna bend. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Try just for context, try it's a copy paste.
It's always copy pasta.
All right.
Pasta.
Here we go. This is going to be the.
At least Red is facing the right way.
Alright.
At least, like, unlike somebody, I
Nah.
conversation look people in eye.
I can't do that, man.
All right.
Stairs.
So your prompt for today.
恭喜你恭喜了，恭喜的 already the 3rd anniversary，恭喜呢。
Oh,
Jason has stolen Renza. Why is Candy capital
Oh
letter?
my god!
no.
Why is Candy
Jason,
capital letter?
Terrible, terrible
I'm a
What are
person.
terrible
you talking
person.
about?
The letter C. It's like, what kind of candy is that?
You know, I was
The
like, are you
candy.
trying to be like sus?
I just automatically gospelize it. Okay, leave me alone.
Okay, I have a question though. Jason has stolen Ren's candy.
Oh wait,
right?
shit, wait, no,
who's-
sorry. Wait.
What?
There you go. Wrong
Ah,
person.
so-
Sorry,
but-
I had the blanks and then I like forgot. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
So, whose perspective?
Well, you're having a conversation
call it-
about Jason, or like about Jason.
So we're having a conversation about that.
But
yes.
Why
Or
that Why that be hard to
doesn't
make the
sense,
sentence?
But
yeah.
it's or
Like, have,
sorry.
like Cheerios stole Zane's candy or something like that, maybe?
Which one?
It can be I stole Zane's candy or something else, so that they can have a conversation about it.
Because they can't make a sentence, otherwise it's just...
Mm.
Because otherwise it's like, you, yes?
Yeah, that's
What?
true. It'll be weird.
True.
Yeah.
Damn it! It should be Ori stolen Zane's candy instead.
You sacrificed yourself as a thing.
Oh
You
god.
sacrificed yourself. What are you? talking
Because
about?
Shira, you're probably the more likely of the two to survive between you and Ari.
Wait a second.
Okay, that's true.
You're so right.
Ari, Zane knows.
Oh god, yeah, she
Zane
does know
can
where I
easily
live.
take you. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Thanks.
Wow.
She probably
Zane
can, but you don't have to remind me.
Wow.
quite low accurate, quite. All right. here we
Low
go.
accurate.
Slow accurate. All right. Ready? You have caught
Alright.
Chiro stolen. You caught Chiro stealing Zane's candy. English, I can. Yes. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
So,
Did
Kiro
just
steal
Zane's
candy?
I
Feel
like
Kiro
may
have
Oh, that was a
Wanted.
Oh.
Wait, what did you say? I didn't hear. Fuck.
oh, sorry. Wanted
Zane's
candy
Say it
because
like that.
she
is
jealous
of
the
delicious
sweet
candy. What did you say?
I feel like Jason should have lost by now.
I probably should have.
I feel like he should have lost by now.
I know, but
I
it
should
was
have
funny
lost
to
like
watch.
long ago.
It was funny watching him struggle.
Fucking piece
Okay.
of shit.
Well, I'll just give the points to Ren. Merry Christmas, Ren. There
Ren.
you go.
I stole Zane's candy because I'm jealous of the delicious candy. What?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay,
Darn, Charles, you just asked me. Which
Yeah.
share?
But no, I decided to
she
just
just
steal it.
decided to steal it, you know?
Yeah.
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 Oh.
Just, you know,
Because I'm
sometimes-
jealous of the candy itself.
Yeah.
Not
Jealous
Zane.
The candy itself.
Not Zane, just
Jealous
the
of the candy
candy.
being held by Zane.
Just the candy,
Yes.
you know?
How dare you enter Zane's hand?
How dare you
not
be held by
mine.
Zane's hand?
Yeah.
So,
God.
Darn.
Matsugatta no.
Oh. She looks affectionately at the candy that is resting in Zane's hand. My
like,
sweet.
Oh, my brain was like, that could be me.
Could've been me.
Oh.
Okay. Mika? Don't stop.
Yeah?
Please roll
Stop.
for me.
GG, Jason.
Please.
GG.
GG's.
I have a question.
No way.
Yes.
Is our board supposed to be the same background? Because to me, it's the same on the side. Like, it's. Do I need a refresh?
Yeah, it's been
no,
the same.
No, it's been the same.
Okay.
I
It's been the
can't
same,
be
yeah.
bothered to fix it.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
1.
Un.
You want to go
blue
back
again,
or
I guess.
forwards?
Unless you want to go back, which is an option.
Which is indeed an option.
You know what? I'll go forwards. Fuck it.
Mahir! He made it! Yay! Alright. Are you ready, Mika?
I am. In
All right.
hindsight, Ari,
Stay away.
you should have maybe not made your end tiles be the white ones. Like the very end tile for each
Oh,
thing.
actually, you're right. Oh.
Oh
Oh
god.
god, scenario change. Okay.
This
Watching
is...
endless
no,
episodes of
it's
Who's
with
Line.
No, it's who this? It's the
No,
accent.
who's this? So, it's the one where
Speak in an accent.
you must speak in an accent until your next turn.
Time to get cancelled, Mika.
You gotta pick an accent.
Which
I can
one?
give you
Which
one.
country do you want to offend most?
You could technically speak in
okay.
Uwu speak as well.
Okay.
You could do Uwu speak, or you could do tough guy sentence,
That's
or end your
true.
sentence with yes. I will allow those 3 as well.
Bloody hell, mate. You didn't actually
God.
specify it had to be a different accent, so I'm... So I think I'll just talk like this for the rest of the session, I reckon, eh?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
You know what? That was a miss on my part. You know what? I'll allow
Oh
it.
yeah,
That's
it just
true,
says speaking in an accent.
That,
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Unspecified.
That's it, mate. We're gonna be stuck like this for the next several amounts of turns, so...
oh no.
Strap in,
Loopholes.
grab a stubby, let's get fucking with it.
Oh god.
Go.
Let's go.
Remember, guys, Zane still has to speak whatever chat says and highlights until her next
You
turn.
don't have to remind them.
Okay, cool.
No, Chiro!
Chiro's like, ah yes.
Chiro's ready to take the lead.
Wait, is it my turn?
Cracks
to-
not
okay,
up.
okay,
Yeah.
Scoop your dice.
I'm sorry. I'm
Oh, you
sorry.
damn dice.
4, 1, 2,
Four.
3, 4. Do you want to go backwards or nothing? You want white or blue?
You know you wanna fucking go forwards. It's way more fun that way. Come on, Chiro.
I'll
One,
go,
two,
I'll
three.
go, I'll
Play
go
the game.
white.
Blue.
What?
Oh,
I'll go
what?
white.
Get
What?
wrecked,
Okay.
get nothing.
Nothingness.
Nothing.
Peace and
Taking the
quiet.
cowardly option now. Yeah, I see how it is.
Okay, alright, Ren, go ahead and roll for me as well.
Alright.
Hey guys, did you know that churro is the best deer to eat during Thanksgiving?
I thought you could eat deer all the time. I didn't realize it's only for Thanksgiving.
5,
Not
6.
true. That's
Oh
not
my
it.
God.
Because that's why that's not a knife behind my back. It's a chainsaw.
Oh no.
Mix them with these
4,
and chop them up.
5.
That's not a knife.
Exactly, and that's why we say Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
This is what is happening.
I don't know. Ren,
Alright.
White or orange?
white or orange?
It's been a while since we last had a major event.
There we go.
There we
go.
go.
Fuck, let's go.
Let's fucking go. Major
She's alright.
event.
It's a major event, folks. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. Not the fucking Aussie.
Jesus.
Oh god.
Damn, the Aussie's so heavy.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
oh,
another
another
sentence.
sentence dump. Okay,
no.
all right. What do you mean?
The
Oh
Aussie
no.
accent.
With the Aussie
Oh
accent.
god.
Nice. I
Oh
love it.
god.
Let's go.
Everybody's
Love
spooky is
it.
also like. Give me a second to enlarge a Fugi's. Okay,
Fugi.
so for
The
the
Fugies.
sentence dump. Wow, Mika's huge.
So big.
You bet you fucking right I am.
Who rolled it? Was it Ren? Oh, it's Ren. Okay, cool, perfect.
Ren.
Where did Chiro go?
What?
Where am I?
You're so
Oh, hi.
Just pop up from behind.
You speak. Oh, who am I? Oh.
All right. So for your guys' sentence dump, your prompt for today is going to be.
B.
Wait,
I
what's the
like,
rotation?
What's the
I like
order?
the
What's the
fucking,
order?
fucking highlights now.
Oh,
Tailored towards me.
Fuck.
Oh,
Like-
sentence dump was the Oh, the scenario one?
The scenario one. So the
yeah.
sentence to dump. Oh wait, we'll go back to the wait. Let's go back to the main board one more time so we can see what it is.
Chat, don't forget, I'm not the one who has to read out the highlighted comments, so you can tell them to Aussie relay shit all you want, but it doesn't necessarily mean
I don't understand what it means because I didn't know you also play with knife and spoon knife.
Spoony, Spoony, knifey, spoony.
No, that's a knife. Sure, you
It's
got
supposed to
me
be
with a
knifey.
spoon and spoon? No, it says not this time, but next time I get you made. Okay.
Oh god.
It's your
Oh,
AI's new voice.
Oh my god, not the AI voodoo voice, yabai, yabai. Can I also
Yum
get
bit.
everybody in the playing to roll a d20
D20?
for me really quick here as
Alright.
well.
20.
D20.
That's mine.
Okay.
Ooh.
11, 13.
Oh, I
It
know
looks
I was.
like Jason, Red,
I'm the one who least
Also,
knows this
Zero.
stuff. The motherfucker.
and Zane.
9. Okay.
Okay, cool. And then we're gonna go back to the spotlight, and then we're just gonna go ahead and. Oh no! Oh no! No!
Struth, I'm nearly out of water.
Jason is left. No, this is. Oh no! Oh, I fucked up. Wait,
Oh.
what the? Nope. Wait! I need to grab it from the other board. I forgot to grab it from the other board.
Oh, Lord.
There it is.
Why?
Okay, cool.
Damn
I like
sad.
that I'm spamming
Oh, you're right.
your stuff here. Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna go. So remember for
It's your obsession with butterflies, Churro.
It's your obsession with butterflies. I'm catering this to you.
so we have the Jason, and then we have the Ren, and then we have the Chiro. Chiro took everybody with
Oh
her.
my gosh,
Oh,
Churro.
wow.
Chill.
I'm alone now. I'm
Everybody
alone
on
now.
the board.
Goodbye.
Okay, and then
Goodbye.
Mika.
Everybody do the flop.
And then Zane.
Fly, hi,
Back.
hi,
Hi.
hi, 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 hi.
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 What's happening? Okay.
Someone needs to clip that whole fucking section. The 6 VTubers going.
YouTubers just go hi. Okay, so your word prompt for today for the sentence dump. You must speak a whole sentence, retaining the "Have you heard of the critically acclaimed MMORPG?" We're gonna start with Jason and go through this order. So please go ahead and start. Ready?
I'm gonna
3,
Okay.
2, 1, go!
So, have any of you guys ever actually heard of the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy 14? My mind says what it wants to.
You took right out with that sentence
Oh
alone.
my god. Gee, I don't know, Jason. We've been waiting for years for you to come play with us. When are you gonna play?
Oh my god, my PC can't even play it. Oh no.
Real.
That's so real.
Aussie Mika.
Give me a moment. I'm having to say words I'm not used to saying in an accent, alright?
Mika's constructing in his mind. How does word in Aussie?
It makes you feel better, Chiro. I couldn't get the fucking final fight down last night.
Zane.
Oh, that's it? I mean, yeah. I watched him fight the big guy twice, and then we moved it to very easy. It's pretty good.
Well, I've actually played through the Realm Reborn thing, but I find it's kind of mid, you know?
I'm just gonna stare at you for a little bit. Chotomate.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a sentence.
Yeah, that is indeed a
That
sentence.
is.
Oh, I don't know. I know a certain Obion Chuan being a had a bad take of this game for a very long time. I don't know, man.
Yeah, from what I heard, AR isn't that good. Everyone keeps telling me to skip all the cutscenes.
Oh my god!
No, he's right. AR is mid.
See, I wasn't wrong. That's why I'm not even playing it anymore. It just ruined my experience of the game. That's how bad it is.
My God, Jason, you being lazy. Yes, it's mid, but the next one is pretty high.
How are you so sure?
I can't comment on that one, Shiro, because I haven't gone there yet, so...
Ren's right. It does get better, though, after AR.
Well, here's the thing. I just want to stay in the gold saucer doing my own business, playing triple triad. Who cares about all this story stuff?
I feel like we have to stop you here before you start digging yourself into a deeper and deeper hole. You're just gonna dig yourself straight to hell.
Not gonna lie. Quite sounds like we're trying to have an intervention with Jason to tell him off for not playing the game.
I know.
Look, this is all totally for the improv. This is not my real opinion. Well, how...
Oh, really?
Yeah, whatever you fucking say, my guy. Yeah, Okay, we're gonna go ahead and give everybody a point for that major event as well. And then
Thank you.
I'm gonna go back to the main board. Here we go.
To the main mode.
My design was supposed to be like, hey, wait, aren't we supposed to promote this game? I didn't get to say that. Okay, cool.
But that is technically
That would have been a great ending, Shiro.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You're right. I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay. Wait, what friends? What, so, huh? But okay. I stopped reading the sentence when it started to mention how to add friends because, you know, friends aren't important. I only play solo, Hairfly.
Okay, alright, I guess we're not.
Just play with the
Okay, I
bots.
guess we're not friends. Okay, well, I guess that's technically done. First, you don't have to talk whatever chat says anymore, Sensei. Congratulations.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Now roll.
Congratulations.
Now roll.
Un.
Where do you want to go?
Let's do it again.
Okay, here we go.
Oh boy.
Major.
bloody hell.
Why is my major event now doing the major event? Hello. Oh, because
Major.
Choi. My
Choi.
major
Who's
event.
Choi?
Oh, there it is. Oh my God.
There. Okay.
Oh my God.
Here comes the wheel.
Wheel of major events
Oh, okay.
She said what?
She says what? So for she says,
What the fuck is this one?
Oh no,
This is a
this is
new
the
one.
hardest.
Oh,
this is
no.
the hardest
Oh,
one
this is.
out of
Okay.
everything.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh boy, are you guys ready? So this is going to be everybody for today. It is what can you say in blank, but not in blank. Chat will vote for the best scenario for 1 point. So only one person technically has to win this. So in the example of like what can you say in driving lessons, but not in bed, you know? Shit, I forgot to change the rubber. So for
God.
today, I will give you guys a 2-minute thinking time. Your prompt for today is that what can you say about VTubers but not about IRL people? I will go ahead and change the thing really quick here.
Oh
So-
no, that could be real bad.
No, that's gonna be bad.
Okay.
Oh, this is
Are
gonna be
we-
terrible.
Are we giving you the answers so that chat can, like, not know who's who?
Uh-huh.
Or...
Well, if you don't know who, Yeah,
Does
what are
chat
we?
spell
How are
it
we
right?
doing this?
Are we gonna send it to you so they don't know who's who? Whose answer is who?
Yes.
Okay.
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 So everybody will give them time. So I'll wait until everybody has sent me their things.
Oh, we're sending it to you. All right.
Yeah. No, God, I forgot
Yeah.
you're still in Aussie. I'm like, who the fuck?
Bloody hell, Ori, how can you forget I'm an Aussie? I've always been an Aussie. I don't know what your problem is.
Oh my God.
Right though.
Yes, I know he's always an Aussie, but like, but I don't. Okay, you know what? I can't. I have no.
What the fuck?
Achoo!
Oh Oh god.
Ah, this is hard.
Oh,
This is
my
hard,
God.
bro. I'm.
Randomly handshake. We're
If
fucked.
you cannot get it,
We're so fucked, handshake.
you can. I will give you guys a good old 3-minute timer. 3-minute timer. If you cannot get it in 3-minute timer, you just forfeit the whole thing.
Fair.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
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 I hope nobody did like the same thing.
You know what?
Doesn't
If it
sound
does,
I'm
it'd
pretty
be
sure
kinda
not.
funny.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of funny, honestly. Okay. 3 minutes. Ready, set, go.
Are we just gonna be thinking in-
I'm gonna
Yeah.
mute indefinitely, or I can't think like this.
Okay. I will
Hey,
take
how
this-
many can we come up with? Only
Just
one?
one, right?
Just
I
one.
assume.
Oh.
Just one.
Oh.
What do you mean? Oh!
I mean, I have a few thoughts. Okay.
You could delete the one that you just sent me, and as long as you get
No,
it
no,
in
no.
before...
I'm thinking a few ones, and I'm just trying to choose
Submit
which one's
your
the
final
better
one. You-
Submit your final
Yeah,
one.
no, or just in case if mine like clashes with others, I have a few backups. Okay.
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 Mm.
I don't think anyone's gonna guess yours. Not gonna lie.
Really? No, nobody. What?
I don't think so. Oh god.
Oh my god, mine are so spicy. I'm gonna cry
Oh,
if I
God.
heard stuff like this. You know. Okay.
Oh no. Wait. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Wait. Can I
This is
delete
gonna be so bad.
There we go.
Oh god, the live reactions.
Yo, some of these are kind of wild. Oh my god.
This is basically who can say the most cancelable shit ever, or who wants to,
Pretty much.
Oh god.
for the sake of points.
For the sake of points. Oh no.
How badly do you want to win?
Oh no.
So this is basically just Cards Against Humanity, but without the cards.
much.
Without the
Yeah,
guards,
pretty
yeah.
much, yeah.
So it's just against humanity.
Yep.
Alright.
So Ori, any of those clashes?
No. No, it does not.
Oh my god.
No, it does not. None of them can. None of them clashes.
I'm a terrible person. Okay. I'm
Yikes.
sorry. I'm gonna.
In about 30 seconds time, we'll find out.
Oh, I think we have everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh
Okay,
my
we have
God.
everybody.
All right.
Okay, pati. Okay, are you guys ready
ba,
for these cursed things that I have just received in my fucking DM?
of the answers.
Let's fucking
Oh
go.
god. Oh god. All right. So, Shiro, is that your last? Which one do you want as the final?
I don't know. Both are bad. Can you pick the one that's more
Sure, I got
acceptable?
you. Okay, this is going to be in a random order. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the first one we have decided it's going to be. Oh wow, that is really big. I did not mean to make it that big. The first one that we have for today is going to be. You know, I preferred it better when she was not moving.
That's so good though. That's so good.
That's strong.
And then
Jesus Christ.
Fucking A.
our second one is this your own design or your mom was design? Oh god! Our
I
third,
love already just between the two. This is very different
This is
takes.
already so.
Oh my god.
our third one is she finally got feet.
Oh wait. We're all terrible people. That's what I'm learning.
Yes, bro.
We are.
Oh my god, no.
Oh no! Don't worry, he gets worse.
What do you expect?
It gets worse.
The fourth one. Waterboarding is acceptable.
Oh.
And then
That's
for our final kicker. Our final kicker for the day. The fifth one is, dude, you can give her 5 USD and she'll take off her top. There's even sexy music when she does it too.
Oh god.
Okay.
So,
I mean, that's acceptable in some places, so.
Some places, yeah.
Some places.
There's a time and place for it.
Good lord.
Can we vote? Can we
Alright,
also
do we get to vote?
We better be able to vote too.
okay, you guys can also vote. It looks
Yay.
like. All right, chat. Put
Do we
your
make a
votes
poll
in
or
from
what
1
is
to
this?
5.
Can you make a poll?
Yes, I can make a poll.
Yes, please.
Oh my god.
Poll would be better.
Oh
my
1, 2,
God.
3, 4, 5. Okay, and then there you go. The poll has started.
The poll is up.
Oh god. All right, we're looking at it. It looks like one is getting the most. One got literally every single point so far.
One with the sweep. Oh, there's a 5. There's a 5.
That's a 5. That's a 5.
There's a 5. Okay, all right. There's a 5. We have. It looks like we have 8 votes for the 1 and 1 just for 5. Is there any more votes? Does anybody want to see if they can? If they
Vote
wanna-
while you can, boys.
my
The poll
God.
is
While
up.
you can. It's still up. Though the first one.
Pick your
really-
poison.
The first one really came in kicking. It's
Fucking
goddamn
earth.
crazy. Holy shit.
First one came in too hot, bro.
It
First one came in too hot.
The
Kicking
first
when
one
it
fucking
shouldn't.
eclipsed. Yeah.
It really shouldn't be kicking, you know?
Oh god.
Hmm.
God damn.
Turn it back. Make sure it's not kicking again.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't want it. Yeah, because you don't want it moving, right?
Oh god.
Oh.
Yeah, Mike.
Oh.
And it looks
Yep.
like
Bloody
it's going
oath.
to be the
One
first
has
one. As
won.
you know, I preferred it better when she was not moving. And guess which fucker decided to do this? Would you like to reveal yourself?
I am the terrible.
Holy hell, Jason!
Give it,
Free. You fucking
You
psychopath.
son of a gun, you son
It
of a
is
bitch.
the good old Jason is the good
Fuck it
the
up.
winner with the you know I God
There's no
first.
stone I'm not willing to turn over for points.
Alright, Brennan Lee
Brennan
Brennan Lee
Mulligan. Show your
Mulligan. Yes.
I'm on the
Alright.
fucking wavelength. I get it.
All right, if we look at the scoreboard one more time, it looks like currently right now is leading in points is going to be Zayn actually. So this is your current points for today.
Zayn, still strong.
Still strong, 1 point, but Chiro's coming very close actually. So here we go. We're gonna continue on with the stream for today. Let me go ahead and switch everything out real quick here. Okay, so who was that one? That was Sensei. So Jason, go ahead and roll for me.
Alright.
Rolling. Roll. 6. Where the fuck?
6.
1, 2,
Where the
3.
fuck am I?
You're literally off
You're
the
out
an
of the
L.
board.
Okay, can you stop
Bye.
rolling a
I've been-
6? Can you
I
stop?
don't know. I need to handicap
Look.
myself.
Well, he just
Whoops.
he fucking like cocking himself because now he can't get any fucking points.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's the thing. I don't want high numbers. I want points.
Unfortunately, you don't get points. Unfortunately.
Size.
Well, now that Jason's off the board and kicked off like no tomorrow, Mika,
Bye.
can you go ahead and roll for me real quick here?
Oh, I'm finally free.
Oh, yes, you're free from the old
Hey.
Zane.
Back
One.
to normalcy.
Where would you like to go, Mika?
Oh, clearly we gotta do a major event.
All right,
Oh,
good
boy.
old
Major event after major event.
Let's go.
Back.
Back to major event, back to back. Let's see what we're gonna get today. All right,
What will we
here
get?
go.
Mind meld.
Mind meld again. Mind
Simple
meld
one.
more time.
Jason, I'm looking at you, bitch.
It's more like mine
You better not.
unmeld, but
You better not.
See, I'd change it right here, right now, but I cannot due to my inability. These are PNGs, so
Don't mind Mel.
don't mind Mel.
yeah, don't
Don't
mind
Mind
meld.
meld.
Like melted.
Mine's unmeld. Unshare the brain cell right now.
Okay, I'm sharing now.
Unshare
You
it.
must.
Disconnecting family share.
No, not family share. My games.
Not the family share. All right. Once again, it's going to be I will give you a category, and then you're supposed to not say the same thing as your opponents for today. If you say the same thing,
Alright.
both of you will not get a point. So we're gonna do 3 rounds. Once again, are you guys ready? On go.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, ready. Rub your hands together. Your category is going to be. You can't. Okay, you know. Actually, okay. Your category is going to be colors. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Pink.
Fine.
Okay, I don't think I heard anything. This time.
At this moment, he
Honor
fucked
rules.
up.
Okay.
Dang, what is dang? But anyway.
All right. Ready. Your category is gonna be cult. Fuck, not cults.
Cults?
Kitchenware. Kitchenware. I was
Don't
gonna.
know enough cults.
Okay.
Where?
Do you know enough? Kitchenware. Ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Whisk.
Thank you.
Oh.
Jason.
Fuck, Jason.
Oh, 3 of us mind blowing.
What?
Great.
What did you guys say? What?
Whisk, Egg Beater, and Zane said what? Whisk too?
I said whisk.
So Ren and Chiro gets it. Wait, Chiro, what did you say?
This is what we get for trying to be too unique.
I said a different thing. I didn't say whisk. But
I mean,
It's
true.
the
It's
same
still the
thing,
same.
though. It's still
Same
the same
thing.
thing, though. Okay, so 1 point for Chiro and then 1 point for Ren for today. Patsy, 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 patsy.
Damn it.
All right, cool. All right, Chiro, go ahead and roll for me, please.
Okay.
Okay. Letter 2.
Wow.
Deuce.
Why am I so mid? Let's do another major then.
Major event.
Major event, major
Don't be so
event.
hard on
Major
yourself,
event.
Chiro.
Major event.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
Rejectedly major event.
I don't want to be normal twice, okay?
Okay, all right. No normal for
Major
Chiro
event
today.
again.
Major event one more time. We don't need no normals in this household. All right, here we go. Let's see what the major event is going to be one more time. Here we go.
It
It
is.
Oh my god!
Fuck.
Why can we actually say one again? That one's funny.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. Well, this is the easy one. I guess it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Mind
Quick
meld
one.
one more time. Same thing. Easy. Ready? Are you guys ready?
Easy.
Yeah.
What do you mean? The topic's easy?
No,
No.
the game.
The game is
Oh.
easy.
Yes,
I guess.
I guess.
I thought Ori meant the topic is easy. I'm like, huh?
No.
No.
It's
The
like,
topic is never easy.
Yep, it's never.
It's never easy. All right. Are you guys ready? 3.
Yeah,
You're sorry.
sure.
Your topic is going to be
What the topic, bitch?
no topic. Just no topic. Period. Your topic is going to be RPG classes. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Bard.
Bard.
Hila.
God damn it!
Well, that was easy. All right. Who said Bard? I heard Jason and who was
Me.
who was the other person?
And I think Ren, was it?
Yes, Ren. It was Ren.
Okay, so we have
hate this.
1 to
I hate-
0, Zane and Mika.
I have the least points!
I love it.
Chiro, Zane, and then Mika. Cool.
Ren, stop being Southeast Asian, please.
No, man. You stop being Southeast Asian.
Now we know who has the
God.
same brain cell.
Fuck.
Did you guys forget that I'm also Southeast Asian? But
No.
anyway.
At least you don't share the brain cell.
The one time you don't want to
the
share
brain
it.
cell though.
The one time you don't want to share it, Chiro. Be glad. Just be glad.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm glad.
Yeah, just be glad.
I'm glad.
Be glad. You don't want to share it right now.
Wait, did you just group us Southeast Asian people on the right side?
No, but I did. That was not the.
Wow.
That was not my intention. But I.
SMH.
such Southeast Asian was not my
intention.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't believe it.
That was not my intention, but I guess so. I guess I did.
Yabe.
Southeast Asian was not my intention. Ren, roll.
Oh, me, right.
Yes.
Choto. Here we go.
If you get a 1, it could be a major event again.
What the fuck is that?
What is that?
Is it a 3-2?
What the
What the fuck
that?
is that?
That's a 3. It's a 3. It's a 3. It's a 3. It's a 3.
Okay.
It's like in
1, 2,
between.
yeet. Okay.
What?
All right.
Get away
Zane.
from me, Ren.
No, you get away.
Zane, go ahead and roll.
I just seen the two of you doing like the slap fighting at each other.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So Wyatt. Nothing.
All right.
Yay.
Jason gets no life.
That's good. I get to eat lunch.
No.
True.
Yeah.
Mika, go ahead and roll for me. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can either do blue or you can do green.
Blue means
Well, I'm
major
gonna,
offend.
I'm gonna do blue.
All right. Oh, and that's going to be the good old backwards. So,
Womp womp.
major event, one more die. Major event, here
More
we go.
games, more points.
More games.
That is true. That is
Let's
indeed a
go.
strat. So, let's go ahead and do
He's
that
working
one more
for us,
time.
boys.
One more
I swear
major
if it's
event.
mine,
I
I'll
want to do.
again.
She said once again because it's fucking
She said
funny.
what's good.
Let's see.
What if we
I
might?
swear to God, if it's mine, not again.
Okay, it's not.
Okay, the
no.
nonsense one. The nonsense one.
Nonsense.
So, for 3 minutes, the
Oh,
whole party
no.
can
Not
only
again.
speak in lines from the article from the Onion.
Okay, I have to open up these links again.
Wait,
Shit.
where's
Yeah.
where's
Is
the
it
thing?
gonna be different links
No,
or
it's
what?
the same one.
Same links differently?
Same one? Okay.
Same ones? Okay. Wait, hold on, let me.
Well, hold on.
Say same one.
Hold on, I closed all of them.
Yeah. Didn't know I needed to keep them open.
Sorry. Well, now you have to keep them open for the
All
rest
right.
of the
Shit.
stream. Okay. Are you guys ready?
I
Yes.
guess.
No, I am
Yes.
only opening the links.
There's only 3 links. I gave you 3 articles. What the hell are you talking about?
Exactly. I'm a boomer. Give me a sec.
Chotomate. Ori,
Yes.
These are so fucking
how many links did you give everybody?
3.
3.
3.
I have 2.
What?
What?
Oh shit!
Oh.
Why do you have 2?
Wow.
Wow.
Wait.
The Southeast Asian debuff, is it? Oh
Oh my
my
god, wait, you
God.
only have 2. Why you only have 2? Oh
You
shit!
said 2, bitch.
Oh shit! I did not mean to do that. I'm sorry.
S. I'm H.
Okay.
I know,
Ren, here
I
you
know.
go.
It's because I'm Filipino, right?
No!
I guess that's how it is.
There's your third one.
God.
I'm so sorry. Holy shit! I guess it just got lost in me copying, pasting it. I'm sorry.
You're fine. It's okay.
Oh my god. Oh, that was not my intention. Shit. Sun
You're fine,
devastation
you're
was
fine,
not
you're
my intention. Fuck.
Wow.
Alright,
Okay.
here we go.
Okay, are you guys ready?
I don't
Yes.
know, man.
Yeah.
That's weird as fuck.
These articles are weird and also short.
That's the point.
Yeah, it's so hard to pick words from it, but okay.
Okay. That's okay. You're just supposed to say just the whole sentence of it and just make it as whack as possible. Wait, where the fuck
Okay.
is my timer?
Hmm.
Fuck? It's not supposed to make sense. It's okay. Where's my timer? There it is. Okay. Are you ready? 3.
Wait, who's going first?
I will just be asking you guys. So
Okay.
I will be the
Okay.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. So, Jason, how is your day going?
You know, wait, that's not Pepsi. Where did the Pepsi go?
Oh no. Chiro, how do you feel about the missing Pepsi?
I don't know, but ever since I caught Dad wrestling with Mom's sister, he won't stop buying me them.
Okay!
What?
Oh, okay, Zane, how do you feel about the wrestling mom's sister? Okay!
Okay.
Okay! Red, how do you feel about the
Well, somebody up there is really upset with somebody down here.
That's so
Wow.
good.
Oh, okay, Mika, how do you feel about that sentence? Mika?
I'm not sure. I don't actually read the police reports.
Zane, how do you feel about the police reports?
This thing better not give me a disease.
Chiro, how do you feel about the diseases?
We've been together for years and she never brought it up once. And now she's telling me she wants at least 3?
So, Jason, how do you feel about the 3?
Well, according to sources, the pigeon's eyes took on a crazed glint and it savored the supple tissues of its brethren fowl in a manner similar to an eccentric billionaire.
What the fuck?
No, man. These are the fucking articles you gave me.
Right,
These
how
are
do
what I
you...
have to work with.
Ren, how do you feel?
You see, the Colonel may have all the soldiers, land, and servants in the world, but there's one thing he does not have. You.
Okay!
Ooh.
Ew. Better repeat my
Wow.
How do you feel about the you, Mika? How do you feel?
Ugh, nothing says solitary non-breeding male more than a failing to produce any calves.
Wow.
Chiro, how do you feel?
Where would they even go?
Okay! Zane, how do you feel?
I need some me time.
Okay, understood. You know what? Have a nice day. Jason, how did you feel about her me time? Jason?
Whoa, is that a child? I wonder how much they want for her.
Oh my god.
This is so... Why do you give me these articles, man?
I love it.
These are terrible.
I love it.
Ren, oh, okay. Ren, would you like to end our last major event for the night? With
You
one-
and God are like peas in a pod.
Okay! Thanks, God!
Wow.
Well, thanks,
That's
God!
concerning.
Oh, boy, thank you, God! Alright, putsy.
I don't want that prompt again. Fuck these articles.
We have new articles to
Look,
give
trust me,
us.
Jason, I'm trying really hard with the articles I've got you. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy almighty. Whose turn was it? Mika, Chiro, would you like to continue?
Oh, it's me? Oh, sorry. Oh, fuck
You.
yeah. Say, roll. 4.
Okay, off the board he goes.
Oh, I'm off the board.
Okay,
Off the
Ren's already
board.
off the board. Zane's gonna get off the board. Mika, you have a chance of rolling just a 1.
Rolling a
Would you like
one.
to
Nope.
roll? See if you get 1. Okay, you do not.
Oh,
All right,
God.
next turn. Or next board.
Let's
We
go.
are slowly
Next
getting
board.
into our into our last board for the night. Nobody saw that. And this is our final board for the night. We're almost coming to a close. My guys, are you guys ready?
Oh my god.
Boy.
Okay.
So many blues. What the heck?
And are suffering. What's blue? Oh, forward? Backward.
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 Everything is
no
backward.
forward.
Everything is
God.
just backward.
Well,
So basically, there's a lot of trying to jump over the fucking major
Yup.
events.
Yeah.
Smiles.
Holy shit.
All right. So, let's go back
Oh
from the
my
beginning. Zane, can you go ahead and roll for me, please? 4. 1, 2, 3,
Ooh.
4. No matter what you roll, you're gonna roll into the good old backwards. Pick your poison. Would you like a major or a minor event, my friend?
I'll have another major.
Okay, we're getting another major event.
Force majeure.
Go.
All right, here we go. Let's see the major event. Are these
Let's
ones?
see.
Let's see what we're gonna get for today. Rolly, 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 rolly.
She said what?
She said what? Oh my God!
Oh my
Welcome
god.
to the She Says What. Once again, it's a what you can say in blank, but not in blank. Let me go ahead and get my prompts here. All right, so for everyone, what they're gonna do once again is that I'm gonna give them the prompt, and then they're gonna go ahead and send it to me, and they have 3 minutes to come up with something, and we're gonna go through them one by one. Here we go. Let's go ahead and move over to this screen here. Their prompt for today is going to be, what can you say during a stream but would be very embarrassing in a normal conversation?
Ooh.
You guys have 3 minutes to determine what you would like to say for that. Let me go ahead and get the things on the board. All right.
What can be? Everything is embarrassing to say in a normal
Everything,
conversation.
What is the most embarrassing? Let's go. Let's find out. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Your timer starts now. No, first option does not still work. Stop that.
Oh shit! I really can't think of.
This is so hard.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this
Oh
one's
my
hard.
This one's difficult, yo.
So, chat, how's everybody enjoying the stream? Wink, wink, wonk, wonk. Welcome to the Torture Fest.
What the fuck?
Oh my god! I'm gonna. Yeah. Okay. There we go, Ari.
Wow, okay, understood.
I mean, it's gonna be embarrassing for you, so...
Fuck. Thanks.
What the fuck?
I mean, I don't think this is something that you can say in a normal conversation, but anyway.
Well, yes.
But I would like to hear that in a normal conversation.
If you could say that in a normal conversation, I'd be very fucking concerned.
Yes. So Ori, how is your day? How is your anniversary feeling?
It's going pretty good. How's it going for you, Chiro?
Oh my god, I had fun today, and look at me right now. I'm in the center. I feel so honored to be in the center, grabbing the mic, hogging the mic all by myself. This is great.
Here, I got you. Ready? Here you go.
Oh my god.
No,
Hi.
Ori, that's not, no.
Okay.
No. Ori.
Why not?
Yikes.
Yikes
Why
is
not?
why.
Yabe.
Don't set Chiro up like that.
We have 30 seconds left on the clock. 28, 27. Get your things in now.
Nothing.
Okay, alright, understood. We have 15 seconds. If you do not submit anything, you will automatically be forfeited for the points.
Auto loss.
Auto loss. Okay! Okay! Alrighty then!
Yeah.
Okay. Patsy, and then everything it has been sent in. So, starting in whatever order this is in general, let's go ahead. The first one is going to be what can you say during a stream but would be very embarrassing to say in a normal conversation? It looks like it's going to be, I love taking 50 at once. What context this is? I'm not entirely sure. What would be, what can you say during a stream but would be embarrassing in a normal conversation? Oh fuck, no, there we go.
Yeah.
Man, I think my speaks needs some more practice. I'm gonna start being a Discord kitten from now on.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Discord kitten.
Oh my god.
Oh.
How is that not embarrassing to say in the stream? But never mind.
Good question.
You know what? You're so correct. The
No,
third one.
Ori, you're saying it all right.
Yeah.
What the heck? Hold up. Huh?
Oh,
Huh? Huh?
Sorry about it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
The third one is going to be. Sorry, I got distracted for a second. Let me look back at chat really quick.
That would actually be embarrassing, to be fair.
Oh, the second
Yeah,
hand.
yeah.
The second
That's
hand.
the
Oh,
second
God.
Ray moment.
That's
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
That's a Ray moment on
that
stream.
is so real.
That would
Oh
be-
my god.
God.
That's
It's
the
like
realest
it's like the
answer
hey
I've
chat,
seen.
hey chat, how you going?
Yeah.
Looking to the audience and going, hey chat.
Oh God. Oh, that'd be so bad. And then the fourth one is going to be. Can you move the model to stand in between her boobas?
oh
Okay, that's actually
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Oh.
And then we saved the best for last because this is the most targeted.
Oh God.
Targeted. Oh, hi Ori! Welcome to the circus. Would you like a tarot reading from the con? Thank you for the fucking targeted. I know who you are.
Chat, you know what to vote for.
Don't you fucking
You
dare.
know what to vote for, chat?
No, don't do that. Okay, the poll is going up. Okay, please vote for your favorite one, your favorite scenario. What can you say during a stream but would be very embarrassing in a normal conversation? It looks like, three has actually hit the, 2 people voted for 3, 3 people voted for 3, 1 for 4, and 1 for 5. Oh, and it looks like 3 is getting into the lead. It looks like 5 people are voting.
Ooh.
Okay. And someone's voting
Well,
for
5's
it.
climbing back up. 5
back
is.
up.
Oh, 5 is climbing up.
Don't you fucking dare vote for 5. I will scream. I do.
Okay, so if
No,
if 5 wins, it's already gonna say it from now onwards.
No, I will not. No, I will not. No. It looks like 3 is currently winning. There is a little bit left of time to vote for your favorite one. Will 3 take home the cake for today?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Oh
Will
my
the
god.
realist answer? or
5
will
is
the
coming
one-
up. 5 is
No,
coming up.
Stop.
5 is
No. You cannot tie this. You cannot tie this. I know
It's
fucking cause.
neck and neck between 3 and
my,
5.
it is 3 and
And
5.
it's a
Oh
tie.
God. Well,
Come
shit. I guess we'll
on.
just give it to the 2 people. I guess. Well, so for
Okay.
number 3, would you like to
Damn.
reveal who you are? Okay.
Sorry, I got distracted for a second. Let me look back at that real quick.
That's such a real answer, bro. That's so good.
That is so good. Oh my god. So
Nice,
the good
nice,
old
nice.
Red.
Oh my
what the-
God.
and
Well-
then the 5th one. Would you like to reveal who the fuck did this to me?
Surely that's Zane.
Oh, Haria, welcome
It's
to the podcast.
Shiro was fucking cackling about it for the longest time.
I was like, what the goddamn fuck? Okay, so we have a good
I
old.
thought it would be Zane because Zane would absolutely go for the throne.
God damn.
Oh, fair.
You are indeed correct. Honestly, you are indeed correct. So once again, these are your scores as of right now. It looks like Chiro has actually pulled forward with
Oh my
1
God.
point in front of
Damn,
Zane.
Chiro with 8
What
points.
happened?
Hey,
And
What
then
happened?
Jason is still last.
when that happened?
I'm fucking last because of the mind melds.
Oh, Jason, I mean...
Jason, you need to stop having 1 brain cell, alright? You cannot keep
Yeah.
sharing with the class. Alright, you can't keep
I need to
sharing with the
unlock
class
my
here.
full potential. 1.5 brain cells.
You can't do that. Please stop that. Alright, okay. So, alright, now that Zane has gone, Jason, go ahead and roll for me. Remember, guys, you can cut them by
Alright.
rolling for them. That's a 3.
That's a 3.
You want a
Where's
major
that?
or a minor? One.
Fucking major in it.
1, 2. Okay, you get a major. All right,
Oh my
so
God.
we go for a major event.
Major.
Oh my god.
Let's go again.
That's a good idea, Serena. Next time we're gonna do a poll to vote. Okay, all right. So major event one more time. Here we go. Are you ready? You better hope it's not another mind meld.
I would say
It would be so
ironic.
funny if it was though.
You know? Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Oh,
Oh,
you were so close.
You were so close. You were so
The
close.
god of fate almost fucked me over.
Oh boy.
But this is also equally worse. I'll be probably
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
Rebecca the Onion, I don't know.
Or do you have new articles? Or
I don't know if we can squeeze any more from these articles.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have any more articles. It was a hard time finding
Okay.
articles, period. Because the onion was... I was trying to pick something that wasn't that bad.
Wait, do the articles you guys have not have slides?
Slides?
What do you mean?
I only have one with slides.
I have
Only
two that have
one.
slides. I've only used like
What's a
a
slide?
tiny bit.
Mine's
like a
like
PowerPoint
just
slides.
one paragraph each.
Yeah, it's just
mine's
one paragraph. That's
too.
it.
Oh, mine has like complete. Like, I mean, okay.
How many
Wow,
how
this is
many
a
slides do you
rigged
have?
game.
Don't worry.
Oh no! Oh,
Sorry.
okay. No. So
Okay,
nonsense.
What if people go to like the Onion and just like click on a random article?
Yeah, can we do that?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
How do you
Alright.
random? Ugh.
Is there a way to do a random?
Just
Probably not.
just click and then click on it, close your eyes, like scroll around, move your mouse, and then click.
Boom.
I can send. I
Okay.
can send this one to somebody.
Me.
You want it?
Yes, please.
You sure you want that?
Yeah, I can do it. Don't worry.
Okay.
One new article. Let's go.
I love I love having slides.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then,
Okay.
I think I see the slideshow now.
Okay.
how do y'all have fucking slideshows?
Hey guys, don't forget to vote in the poll.
There's a poll.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
What
Who the
poll?
fuck?
Oh,
started the poll?
Oh, nice.
Where did you get a poll going? Okay.
Solid.
Thank you.
Okay.
Amazing.
All right. Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay. Okay. Ohio
Oh,
Ori.
God.
Democracy,
this
man.
is your
Ohio
sin.
Ori. Ohio Ori.
Alright, that's
Ohio.
Is Hario? Yeah.
Ohio.
Mario.
There's no I. Oha.
Oha.
Ohio.
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 Why does this almost sound like
Ohio.
Ohio?
Ohio.
Ohio. Gozaimashita.
Ohio? Ohio.
Ohario.
Ohio.
Ohio.
Oh, I don't need any new articles, Ari. I still have plenty with what I've got.
Okay, cool. All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll just grab whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I didn't mean to send that. Okay. Well. Ignore that one, Jiro.
What? What do you mean?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, I didn't
Cool.
see it. Okay, cool.
Okay, everyone technically should have new ones.
Should.
Ohario.
How are you struggling this much?
Dude, I am so bad with names. Okay, leave me the fuck alone. Okay, shut the fuck up.
Oh my
Ohario.
We know.
Oh, you have no idea how bad this is until I read until the back.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Are you guys ready to suffer then?
Yep.
Sure.
God.
Oh boy! Oh, welcome to the Onion, I guess. Are you guys ready? We have 3 minutes on the clock. Okay, here we go. So, Chiro, how do you feel?
He'd lead them to freedom by parting the sea. That was him, right?
So, Red.
Holy shit.
Wow.
So, Red, how do you feel about that?
As a largely Christian nation, it's reasonable that Americans should turn to the ultimate moral authority to solve this issue.
Oh
Jesus
my
Christ.
Oh, no.
Mika, it sounds like you're very passionate about this. How do you feel about this?
Everyone even say.
So,
Jesus.
how do you feel about
I need to find something that's appropriate.
this? Okay, you gotta say something. You have to stop right now. The time is ticking.
Not a good look, cuck. Not a good look, cuck.
Sensei, how do you feel about Ren's statement?
Oh, whoops. Just take 2 now. It's probably fine.
Jason, how do you feel about Ren's statement?
Well, yeah, because of that, more Americans were opting to have their decapitated heads placed under a silver cloche after death.
Cheer, how do you feel about that?
He will create a formal legal path to hell!
Mika, how do you feel about that?
I guess when you've been a creep for 60 years, word starts to get around.
Oh my god! Shit! Ren, how do you feel about that?
We want to see nice snap recipients, obedient snap recipients. Only then can they get their treat.
Zane, how do you feel about that?
Well, yeah, but that's because he got hit by a car.
Jason, how do you feel about that?
Well, you know, I think he would accept them with open arms, feed them, help them wash up. Not me. I'd nuke them.
How do you feel about that?
I don't pretend to know the Lord's mind, but I'll tell you what Satan would do. Provide them with food and water and give them shelter in our country.
Okay!
Oh.
Red, how do you feel about that?
Who?
Ren.
Who?
Ren.
Oh, me. Oh yeah. Come to mama.
Mika, how do you feel about that?
According to reports, both men later shared a horror look as the iguana ate the cockatiel whole.
Okay.
Okay.
Zane, how do you feel about that? Would you like to get the final sentence? Is it Zane?
Oh, I
It's
was
not.
muted.
Oh.
It's a boy!
All right.
Okay, Patsy.
Christ.
This is terrible, man.
This
This
is
is terrible. Patsy, again.
Patsy.
This is cursed.
Thank you, the onion.
Thank
Not
you.
sponsored.
It's so
Not
terrible. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right, we're on our last final stretch. It's going to be Mika. Go ahead and roll for me, my friendo. It's going to be a 3,
Tres.
1, 2. All right, chat. Which one should they do today? We'll let chat pick for the first time in forever. Major or minor. So it gives everybody a 5-second break to please remember to hydrate, stretch a little
Oh
bit.
yeah,
We
I
had
need
to
to
laugh
drink.
Hydration, water.
Get
I
your
forgot
water.
the red. Oh my god.
Please get some water and please
I have run out of water, so I will get some water.
Okay.
I'm also gonna go get water.
Okay, we have been
Okay.
laughing very hard, so while it's chat
Fine,
just
don't worry about it.
dying. I'm also dying. Well, everyone's hydrating. Okay, alright, it looks like Major has a 3/2 right now. Are we gonna do another Major or are we gonna do another or minor? Oh, it looks like the Major is still going.
Yeah, babe.
You know what I kind of forgot to do?
What you forgot? What you forgot to do? Get English can.
Okay, cool.
Dying is bad for your health. Indeed.
Yes, it indeed is. But
It
how
very
is chat
much is.
going? How is everybody doing? How do you feel about today's game board? I hope you guys are having a good old laugh while we're all dying as well.
Excuse me.
Oh god. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost done. Oh, it looks like we're just gonna go to another major for today. Where is
Let's
the
go.
Damn, more majors.
More majors. Is
Mommy.
more
Major
majors.
sick.
Major these
What?
Your first these nuts joke for the day, bitch.
Let's go.
That's the first
Oh my
one.
god.
That is the first one. It's a feat. It's a feat.
Oh
It's
my
been
God.
over 2 hours and it's a feat.
Oh my
I know,
God.
right? For the first time.
Holy
in
shit.
forever.
Not forever, just to today, bitch.
That's true.
Don't get too cocky.
Don't get too cocky, kid.
Oh my god.
Goddamn. Holy shit. Is Mika back? Or is he still... I think he's still...
I think he's still watering.
He's still watering.
Is
Oh my god, he's
still
watering
fetching the
these
water.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Well, we've opened Pandora's box.
Yeah,
Everyone.
We
you
really
have... You can endure these Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop that.
We've really
Wow.
opened these nuts.
Oh my god. Well, you can now drag these nuts. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Where's,
No, you're not. At
Where's
this
the
point,
get
you're
out of
not.
here button?
But I don't want to nut. Wait, no, that sounds wrong. Wait.
Uh,
that sounds wrong. That sounds
You
wrong.
don't have to say it out
Hey guys, how's everybody going today? Wow.
Classic art of edging.
True. Okay, and then also, I will actually play the intro while we're waiting so that people that didn't get to see it at the beginning also can kind of understand why the fuck is everything happening as well.
Yes.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and play the intro video one more time. Here we go.
Welcome to my 3-year anniversary. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming to today. Here is a mini video that showcase the people I have kidnapped for tonight and the plans that I have for them as well. So I hope you like this little introduction video to tell you what the I have planned, because I honestly don't know how to explain this in any words besides the video format. So here we go. So for today, I have kidnapped the lovely 5 amount of my friends because having an even number was too weird for me. And so, incoming, these are your 5 contestants for tonight. We have Mika Katsuka! Woo! And then we have Jason Butterman. And then we also have the Ichiroku Chirorochi. You will hear her be called by every other name under the sun while she's here. You also are gonna have the Run. And then we also have Sensei. Just Zane. Zane Sensei. Zane Sensei. Zane Sensei. These are your contestants for the night. So, what are these lovely contestants for the night going to be subjected to? Well, they don't know either, so you're about to find out with them. It's technically an improv night, as I had technically quote-unquote promoted it as, but it's a board game with improv elements. I totally didn't figure that out after I have done at the every single thumbnail and everything in between, but I digress. Now, what is improv? You might have seen skits that kind of go like this.
She ate potato, decided to kick in the mouth, and the potato decided to get revenge.
Well, improv is a shorthand term to say improvise, or to improvise, pretty much, which is a critical skill for both actors and streamers. To be witty and to come up with something on the fly is sometimes a very hard skill for some people to master. So for today, I decided to grab 5 of my friends and test their improv skills. But wait, there's more. Just having an improv night seems a little bit too boring, per se. So I've decided to take the creative liberty as your host for tonight and decided to make it a board game with the elements of improv tonight. And I welcome you to tonight's true identity, the Improv Board Game! Watch as these lovely 5 friends of mine try to race to the finish line and try to rack up as many points as they can before the first person makes it past the finish line. And here are your contestants one more time. Here's the good old Ichiroku Chirorochi, the good old Jason Butterman, the good old Zane, the good old Ren, and the good old Meika. The 5 of them here will go through these 3 game boards one by one, and the first person to pass the finish line is not the winner, but it will call the end of the game, and then we will tally up our points at the end of it. Whoever has the most amount of points will be deemed the winner. And what do they get? We'll figure out after this episode. And to spice things up a little bit here, for the viewers, if you were paying 0 attention to everything else besides this, now is the time to pay attention. In order for these contestants to move across the board, they will be rolling a dice that you, my lovely viewers, can pay a certain amount of bits to roll for them instead. You think you have real bad luck with your gotcha rolls? Well, now time to cuck somebody over with your rolls as well. No bits? No problem. Don't worry, viewers. There's also a part where you can spend your points to determine who is going to go against who in certain parts of this event. So make sure to save your points, have your wallet set ready, and there will be mini videos to explain each major and minor events as they come up. So please enjoy the show. Yatta! Pachi 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 pachi.
Oi? Yes! That's why you keep going!
Come on, man.
Alright, you're supposed to be the host, okay?
Host adjust.
0 out of
Host,
10.
where's the host improv?
What do you mean? Host don't get improv. I sit here and make
Host
you.
make improv, but
No.
can't improv herself.
No, the
My
host use the
God.
contestants
Just-
as content. What are you talking about? No, I'm joking.
Wow.
Wow.
All right,
We are
okay.
just tools.
Yes, yes, you are,
I
Jason.
mean,
No, I'm joking.
Wow.
All
I'm
right.
disappointed.
Damn.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta use your tools efficiently. Okay, Chira, would you like to roll?
Holy
Oh my
shit.
god, it's my turn. Okay.
Okay, roll.
What did I get?
6.
What the fuck is
1,
6?
2,
For the first
3,
Size.
4, 5, 6. All you get is a major event.
God
1,
damn
2,
it.
3, 4,
No
5,
choice.
6. No choice.
Yeah,
Landed
no
on-
choice.
You landed on the good old backwards. So get
Backwardo.
straight into
Backward.
the major event.
Backwardo.
Everybody likes the major events, I guess. Then my minor
Yup.
events got no love, I guess.
It really didn't.
Goddamn.
I love it, but I just don't land on them for some reason.
Wait, okay, so
The gods of
Chira, you want to
fate
do a
has
minor
decided.
event?
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Dejected. Yeah.
It's as if I have a choice, right? Wow.
Why not? When?
But Chiro, you get
What do you mean?
points.
Yeah.
As we've established, free will is an
Let's
illusion.
go.
Yeah, it is. So
Um,
minor event we go.
What?
Alright.
Wait, what? What?
Minor
Is-
event we go.
We can rig it. We
Host
can rig it like
decides
that.
the rule.
Minor
Alright.
event we go. Here we go.
Yep.
Here we go, guys.
Ooh, scenario change.
Oh, scenario change. I
This is the first time we got that.
Scenario change.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just go ahead and we'll just include everybody in this one. Okay, so for
How would that work?
okay, so can I get people to roll for order once again?
Okay.
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 How did we do that though?
Roll a d6.
Oh,
Roll
I'm
a
a 4.
d20.
8.
I'm a 4.
Very low rolls.
Oh
from
my
us.
god, hello! Thank
Holy
you!
shit.
I cannot look at that! The Ren! Chiro, can, Zane and Mika, can you roll one more time? Oh my god, arigato! Oh my,
Whoa.
thank you for the thing! We'll do
Ooh.
Zane and then Mika. Okay, arigato, Traveler, for the 5 kisses! Arigato!
Nice.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Desu was. We're gonna go ahead and move over to the spotlight, and then we're gonna take this off, and then we're gonna transition to here. And then we're gonna put everybody's fugi here, and then
Fugi.
Okay. So, for the scenario change is pretty much what happens here is that I will go ahead and give you guys an example. And then you guys will take turns saying one sentence to add. It's kind of like sentence dump, but when I say change, the person that I said, so if like say Mika was saying a sentence like, I love potatoes, and I scream change, Mika now has to change the context of their sentence being like, I hate potatoes, and then it will continue from there on. Does that kind of make sense?
Mm.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So,
Oh, boy.
So for today's scenario is going to be Jason's going to be the first one to kick off our scenario for tonight. Let me go ahead and
Oh
make sure.
no.
Is this the right sentence order? Did we-
No.
No, it is not. Wait just a minute. Why the fuck did it not do the thing? Okay, wait just a minute. Wait, no. It looks
Yes.
like it is.
That is right.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, the only thing that changed was Mika and Zane. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, huh?
Don't listen to me. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Ren.
Okay, cool. Okay, all right. So we're gonna kick it off with So Jason, we're gonna do this for 3 minutes. Let's go ahead and get the timer going. Where did the countdown timer go? There it is. Okay, cool.
No
All right.
timer.
So your prompt is you guys are fighting about who didn't do the dishes. So, you can fight anybody and everybody here.
Oh my gosh, we live in a streamer house?
Oh, yes, you do.
Oh god.
Oh, yes, you do.
Isn't this our dream?
Oh
Not for some
lord.
people. Ready, set, go.
Ren, I swear to God, I did the dishes. You were the one who didn't.
No, it's not my turn yet. It's
Change.
supposed to be Chiro's.
Well-
It's not my turn yet. It's supposed to be your turn.
I mean, I can do the dishes. You guys don't have to fight.
No, sure. You got to let someone take responsibility.
Change.
I mean, who the frick cares? Just someone do the dishes.
Okay, Mika.
I haven't been home all week, so it's not my responsibility.
Change.
I haven't been home all week, so I guess I'll just do them since y'all are arguing.
But that's not the point. The point is it was supposed to be Ren's turn, not you or me. The point is Ren's doing the dishes one way or another.
What?
Ren's doing the dishes one way or another. I don't want anything else.
No, but the thing is, I already did the dishes this morning. It's supposed to be your turn.
But isn't it the whole day thing? Wait, what?
Change? Question marks?
Yes. Wait, what?
Change?
Change.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, we should have done the timetables better, I guess.
Munching popcorn loudly. Is someone gonna do the dishes or what?
She's your whole attitude. Mika.
That's the whole attitude. For real.
She just changed her whole
God.
attitude instead of the context. Mika.
I love it.
Either way, if we keep arguing, the dishes aren't going to get done.
Change.
Either way, if we keep arguing, the dishes will start growing mold.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's fine if it grows mold. Ren will probably eat it. We need to sort out the timetable first.
Okay, you know what? There's mold in here. All right. Step out of the way. Let me take care. I need those for my mushrooms.
Change.
You know, I'm just gonna eat them right now. Okay? Watch me eat them.
Change.
I'm just gonna throw them outside, maybe. So with the dishes as well.
How many times do you want to change?
No, it's a cheer.
I'm gonna eat the dishes.
Chiro.
Are they safe to eat? You know what? It doesn't matter. Whatever.
Eat the dishes!
Eat the dishes.
Eat the...
Change.
Oh, I guess
Time's
just leave them
up.
outside on the ground.
Time's up.
Oh, time's up. Okay, cool.
Fucking hell. It's a lot more chaos.
Ren is now going to eat the dishes, I guess.
Yeah. I like how change changes the whole attitude of someone, and I was like, that's the best
It can,
thing.
yeah.
That is so
That's the
good.
best thing.
That was so funny. I was like, holy shit, she changed her attitude.
Yeah.
Like, fuck
Sends
it.
it from okay, I'm a teacher here into what the fuck? I don't care.
Literally did. I was like,
Fucking
I
do the
meant the
dishes.
context, but okay. Oh my god. Okay, alright. If we look at the scoreboard one more time, it looks like it's still about the same.
What is
Nothing has
happening?
changed.
Nothing has changed.
Jason, please step up the game. Oh my god.
You gotta step up your game, Jason.
Welcome to-
God
Oh, I
damn it.
didn't mean to do that. Turn it off. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Where's Mika?
I'm right here.
Oh.
Back to existence.
Damn.
Oh wow.
Fucking snapped back into existence.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my
Holy
god.
shit. Okay. Who was that? Ren, go ahead and roll for me.
Ooh, okay. How hold on, my stomach. Why? Just roll. Just roll.
True, you did bully Ren a little bit there, alright?
It was funny. I'm sorry.
Oh,
My favorite is Ren.
choose your poison, Ren.
Choose your
Oh my
poison.
god.
Major reminder.
Major reminder.
Y'all gonna go down with me. We're doing a major.
Oh no.
Oh, God.
Okay.
All right, shit.
Okay.
The dishes in my stomach are not gonna digest itself.
I'm dying. Okay. Major
Spin
event. Here we
that
go.
wheel.
Spin the wheel. Oh my god.
What are we gonna get?
Oh, another
Ooh.
she
Yes.
said what?
Oh my god.
Everyone's favorite.
Yes.
Everyone's favorite. I thought everyone wasn't gonna like this one actually, but I guess everyone likes this one. All right, so
It could be potentially unhinged, that's why.
Yeah.
that is true. You
I
are
don't
so
like
right.
any of them. Like, these are terrible games. Oh my god.
Oh my
These are all shit,
goodness.
actually.
Oh my
Like,
god.
I hate being here.
I can't believe. Okay, I understand. Okay.
Come on, the game host can't cry. Go fucking do your shit.
Yeah.
Wham, motherfucker. Okay,
Be the
continue.
Wham, motherfucker.
Wham, motherfucker.
Hinge.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move over to the screen here. So once again, it's going to be the She Says What. I will be giving our contestants here the prompt. So and they will have 3 minutes to send me the answers, and we will go one by one, and chat will vote for the best one. I didn't mean to turn that on.
Yes.
Your prompt for right now is going to be wait, just about that. What? Oh no. I'm so sorry. Okay. I will preemptively say I'm so sorry right now.
Why? What?
Say it.
Oh boy.
What can you say
Do
about
it.
Ren, but not
Oh
about
my
Jason?
What the fuck?
Nothing.
What?
Damn!
Ren, we're being so. This is because we're Southeast Asian. Except Chiro, apparently. Chiro is like
Oh my
exempt
God.
from this.
Do you want to put Chiro
This is so
instead?
hard.
Okay, what can you say about Ren,
Okay.
but not about Chiro?
Okay.
Okay.
That works.
Okay, there you go. I think I made it harder, but sure. Okay, you guys have 3 minutes on the clock. Ready, set, go.
That is, but hey, what?
What can you say?
Ren, but
Hey, what?
Chiro.
What can you say about Ren, but you can't say about Chiro? I'm so sorry, Ren. This is just gonna be a roasting fest.
Oh my god.
This
It
is
really is.
I'm so
Damn.
sorry.
Sure, it's
I
Ren.
feel bad for you, Ren.
I'm so
No, I
sorry.
feel like it'll be indirectly roasting me as well. Okay. Can I exempt myself from this? I don't know how to feel about it.
No, I'm sorry. You must suffer. Welcome to that.
This is so hard.
Oh,
I can't.
no.
My brain is.
This is hard. How mean do I want to be?
My brain is dead, guys. For the first time. Oh my god.
You must be able to accept roasting yourself. I'm sorry.
I don't know how to.
This has turned into a real bad bullying fest. I'm so sorry, Ren.
It really is. We're gonna see a twit longer later on.
I know.
There is. I'm ready in my twit longer right now.
I'm getting replies from one person. It's just so many. They're still going.
Oh no.
I really don't know, man. I'm just.
Oh, look.
I'm
whatever.
blank.
And there you go.
Okay. The music started going, Lamau. We got a minute left and 2 longer girls. Yo.
Oh wait! Oh! Okay, something like that. I don't know. There you go. Ori, I
Okay.
changed it.
Understood. We have a minute left on the timer. 50 seconds left. You can
Shit.
forfeit it, Jason, but I don't think you should because you're technically.
I'm losing so hard. It's so
Damn.
hard.
This is indeed very hard. I ran out of good prompts. I'm sorry.
Wow.
We got it a little too many
Wow.
times. I ran out of good prompts. The other one
You
was
could
about
have put yourself in there, but never mind.
Oh wait, you're right. I could have.
It's like,
Well-
what can you say about Ori but not about onion or something like that?
Oh wait, you're right. Shit, you want to redo
What
it?
can you say about Ori but not to an onion?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's also very similar. They both make me cry, so.
What the fuck? I don't know
Wow.
if it's a good or a bad thing. In what?
I can't think of anything.
Yeah, it's hard to be fair.
Yeah, but. Okay, alright. Understood. Okay. Well,
It's gonna be good.
Alright. So,
I don't
Ren's
know,
like,
man. Is it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Is
We'll
it?
find out.
We're about
Rubs
to-
hands.
We're
Okay.
gonna see how terrible friends we are.
Mm-hmm.
Ren, are you
we're about to
roasting
find-
yourself?
I think Ren's roasting himself.
Okay, Ren's
Oh my
roasting
god.
himself. So,
I'm used to this.
I'm sorry. The first one is what can you say about Ren but not about Chiro? They do have fungus on the mind. Their brain might as well be made out of a single shroom.
What?
Damn.
I don't see.
I don't
Oh,
see
is it
anything.
not,
What?
is it
Paste
not
it.
coming out? Oh. Oops.
It's not
No,
coming out.
it's
There you
not.
go.
There it
There
is.
it is. We have. What can you say about Ren but not about Chiro? Stop playing Final Fantasy and start practicing!
Okay.
Wow.
Oh my god.
This is brutal. This is brutal. What can you say about Ren about and not about Chiro? That green is ugly.
Oh, that's so good.
So good.
Shit.
Oh god! And then you have the final one. It is 3 a.m. Why are you still awake?
Technically, you can say that to me too, but never mind.
No, lately, I feel like Cheryl passed. Does sleep early?
When did you Chiro, when was the last time you were awake at 3 a.m.?
And you're not Cinderella anymore?
Okay, so maybe I'm not on the computer, but on my phone, but never mind.
That's fair.
Understandable.
Understandable. Have a nice day. So we have the
It's a oh, 3's taking the lead.
Okay, 3's taking the lead. Oh, it's a 4 out of 2. 4 out of 2.
4 with 2,
5
5 to 2.
3.
3 is running away with
We
it.
ripped
6 and 2.
Everyone really wants to roast the shit out of Ren today. I'm so sorry, Ren.
Oh, 2's catching up.
Oh,
3 to 6.
7. Oh, that's a
3
10.
7.
Looks like 70% right now for that green is ugly. It's an actually nice green.
It's so succinct. And so
It really is because damn.
Oh god, and
Holy
it's an
fuck.
8 out of 3. Get your last
8
minute
to
votes in
3.
right now, and it looks like that green is ugly.
The green
Alright.
is ugly.
It looks like the winner
Wins.
is that green is ugly. Would you like to out yourself on who wants to who roasted Ren really badly?
Really?
Who just went away?
I knew it.
Same.
I fucking
Of course it was. Of
Where'd she go? Did
course.
she disappear?
Yeah.
Oh, she just left! She
Oreo,
just
Oreo.
left!
fucking voice.
That's it.
Left
She fucking left the
Oreo.
whole ass voice chat. Now you must have now you're the
There
only
she
one there. You
is.
must suffer for your mistake. She got the point anyway!
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god, I think that actually might put her right on the right on
I did it for the point. It was not.
Anything for the
Anything
point.
for the point. She is matching with Chiro now. Anything for the point.
Oh, it's a tie.
It is
It's
a tie.
Look at
We have
that.
so many more. So, oh shit, my get wrecked is get wrecking. So you know, anything for the point. I admire it. I admire it. You know.
Oh my god.
Admire the grind set.
True, that is indeed the mindset. Well, we're almost to the end. If Chiro can get all the way to the goal, we can be done here. So,
Okay, cool, that's
We can
all.
be free.
Zane,
Time to roll.
go ahead and roll for me, please.
Alright, can I roll 20?
No.
A 6 would get you out.
Yeah, 6
That's
would.
not that you
That's
even
a
rolled a
D20.
20 and you still rolled like a 1.
You still roll
Okay.
1 with a D20.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, so close.
Go backwards.
Ooh,
So, you want a major or a minor? my
major or
friend?
minor?
I mean, I can't not pull everyone in, right?
Everyone gets a minor.
Oh God.
Oh no! A minor, everyone's just a major. My minor events! Oh god, okay. Alright, my major events.
No minor events.
Man, I made so many things for my minor events, guys, please! God. I'm running out of pros for my major events, guys! Fuck! Fuck!
We don't
We're
even
going to
have the
minor, we're going to minor. Oh, I closed it!
Oh, VeggieTales.
Oh, VeggieTales.
Don't worry about the VeggieTales. Don't worry about the VeggieTales.
Oh my
okay.
god.
I got.
Vegetable.
Oh god.
Where are you? Where are you now? Where are you now?
Okay. The minor.
I thought it's minor.
Okay,
Minor, what do you mean?
Minor.
minor. Wait, let's do a minor. Okay, cool. All right, here we go.
Minor event.
Yay!
Yay! Oh! You drag people in anyways. Scenario,
Oh my God.
scenario change. You dragged everybody anyways, technically, or
Yep.
we can leave it to chat's opinion. So for chat, let me
Ooh.
go ahead and move it to this screen here. Oh, there it goes. Okay, guys, let me go ahead and reset the counter. So, why are you 50% opacity right now?
Why are you 50%?
Oh,
Fading into existence.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, for everybody, you can vote for multiple people, and I will take the 2 highest, 3 highest, 1 highest. I don't even know, but you can
What?
vote. Vote who you want to. Wait, Zane, roll a D6 for me, really quick. Roll it. 3. I'll take the first 3. The top 3.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna take the top 3 people to go against Zane for the scenario change here.
Ooh.
So here we go. Okay, all right. We got 2 for random, 1 for Ren, 1 for random, 3 for random.
How do I
Okay.
roll for what?
You need 500k.
500,000.
You need
What the fuck is this
500,000
bullshit?
random.
Yeah, what the heck? Why am I 1,000 something? What?
What's a 1616?
Wow.
That is a rig, man.
That
Why
is
can't we?
rigged,
Why can't we
bro.
pull? Why can't we have Ori? Does anyone has a 500,000
Everyone who
points?
has 500,000
have
points.
500,000
Probably no one.
500,000
I don't think
points,
anyone's
please.
doing that. I don't think anyone has that. Wait,
Okay,
who's
we
gonna
want
scream
Ori. We
change?
want Ori.
How
Okay,
dare.
okay,
Who's gonna
okay.
scream? Well, who's gonna scream?
The one who doesn't play.
The fuck? That's saying you have 500,000 points. All right, I'm pretty sure nobody has 500,000 points. We want Ori. No.
We want Ori.
No.
We
No.
want
No.
Ori.
No.
We want Ori.
No.
We
No.
Boycott.
We can't.
We want Ori.
Boycott.
We
No.
want
Boycott.
No. There's a
Ori.
reason
We
why
want
it's 500.
Ori.
Wait, what?
No.
Ori.
Rebel.
Ori.
No.
Take down the government.
We
You gotta find somebody that has the
Take
most
down
amount
the
of points.
Can we vote for Ori?
It's 500 points. It's
It's
500,000.
500,000.
No, I mean like a group poll, and then it's like we want
Community
Ori.
poll?
Community goal.
Yeah.
Is that possible?
Community goal.
Okay, what is the max you can do for a community goal? I don't remember.
Oh shit.
I don't remember either.
2K or
Fuck.
something. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, like there's like each stream, people can only
Yep.
do so much, right?
Yeah.
I can only-
Yeah.
The
But
people have spoken, Ori.
Wait, okay,
Yeah.
okay, let's
What?
see. Where's the community goal? Where's the community? Okay, we can create a community challenge. Okay, all right.
No,
Yeah, but how many can we
only get
contribute?
2,000 more.
So we'll make it. If it's 2,000, let's make it 20. Let's make it 20k.
okay.
If we can get to 20k,
Bet.
Bet.
we can make it
Bet.
to 20k.
Where's the goal?
There it is. Okay, there's the Oreo. Okay, everybody needs
Where?
to. Everybody needs
The
to
fuck,
vote.
where?
There it's
Where?
starting.
Refresh.
It's starting.
Oh, refresh.
All right.
Refresh. Okay.
Oh god,
Right,
10%.
right.
Oh fuck, 10%.
Community challenge started.
Oh,
there we
no.
go.
It should be there. It should be there. 20K.
Come on, Twitch.
Max.
Be faster.
Come on,
Come on, guys.
Twitch,
come on,
why
guys.
you so
God,
slow?
oh god, 670.
It's
Oh
okay,
god, shit.
okay.
80%. Oh shit.
Go, go.
You got this. You
Oh
got
shit.
this. Come
Oh
on.
shit.
4.
Oh no.
4K.
Oh no.
4K, guys. 4K,
I
guys.
can't.
That's just
was
2
so
people.
Oh, will you get the 4K? Will you get the 4K? Will I be forced to do
we can do
this?
it. Yeah.
Okay, 2K left. 2K left.
There we go. Yatta! Get fucked.
Fuck! Shit!
Let's go.
God damn it!
Yay!
Easy clap, boys.
Okay, well, I guess the random is 13, so I guess I guess we'll take me and another person. So let's roll the wheel. Here we go.
Let's go.
Alright, let's
Send it.
where is it? Wait, okay.
Also, I feel like I'm very expensive, so I should be in there.
Truly.
1,000-something points for the
1,000.
Ori.
That's so rigged.
Don't worry about it. Just let it happen.
I feel bad.
Oh,
it's Jason anyway.
oh,
Okay,
it's Jason
cool.
anyway. It's Jason.
Shit.
It's
Okay,
Wait, no,
well,
I can win points.
That's true. That is very true. Okay.
We should let
alright.
Jason win.
No, you get the points regardless for the thing.
Well,
Oh,
fuck.
Okay. Well,
I was gonna let Jason
So-
win and give him point.
who's gonna? oh god, my head is chopped
I
off.
can call change if you want.
Okay, cool. Mika will call change. Okay, Jason.
Yay.
Where the fuck is?
Also, I find it hilarious that literally no one voted me. I'm just like, everyone else, and I just slid
like,
under the
"Mika
radar.
has
It's like,
enough."
That's true. Okay, well, I guess I get to pick the scenario, or unless you can think of a scenario right here, right now. Let me see, where is it?
brain no work.
We're taking Jason through the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh god.
That's an everyday thing,
We're having
though.
a sequel?
Okay,
Aw.
well, so,
Ari has misplaced her tarot cards.
okay,
Ooh.
alright,
Oh,
okay.
no.
Sorry,
Ori.
Ori.
yes, misplaced her tarot
Sori has a
cards.
grandma. Oreo.
Okay, we'll just go ahead and just go in this order, so Sensei first.
Is this one a word or is this one a sentence?
Sentence, right?
Sentence. This is
Okay,
the changed and then rewrite the sentence.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Oh, and the tarot stream is in 2 minutes. I think that's a very good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's
We're
a
always
good ad.
roommates. Okay, let's go.
Okay,
Okay.
alright. Go ahead.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
Oh, me.
Oh my God.
Right. Me. Oh, we're starting?
Yeah,
Yes.
no, well, yes.
Yes.
Uh,
No?
uh,
Yes, sorry.
No?
Okay, wait. Yes, okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
Where was the last place you saw them, Mori?
Yeah, like how the fuck are we supposed to help you if you don't even remember where?
It's not my fault, like, it was literally on the kitchen table the last time I saw it.
Change.
Okay.
It was literally in the bathroom the last time I saw it.
Change.
Okay.
It's literally in the kitchen. It was literally in the microwave the last time I saw it.
Okay. Have we checked the microwave since then?
Wait, the fucking question is why the fuck are you putting it in the microwave?
Change.
Why the fuck why are you warming it up? Are you gonna eat the cards?
Oh, okay, I needed to keep it there for safekeeping, okay? I was trying to eat my dinner!
Have we checked the microwave?
Change.
Have we opened up our eyes to check anywhere in the kitchen or near the microwave for the cards?
My eyes are blind, man. I can't see what's in the microwave.
Change.
My eyes are working 20/20 vision. I see them. It's not there.
checked the microwave and the kitchen and the toilet. I don't know where they went.
Then let's check somewhere that we haven't checked.
Like the sewer.
Are you suggesting I pull out our toilet?
We have to go under the building for the sewer system.
Change.
Oh.
So we have to find the Ninja Turtles to get us access to the sewers?
Yeah, it's fine. I'll call them. I got a flashlight, like the Batman flashlight, but for turtles.
Change.
Yeah, I got Batman. Not the turtle. He can help.
How do we go from turtles to Batman? What is he gonna do? Is he gonna stick his hands in the toilet?
Change.
Oh, you're gonna call Batman? Wait, let me get my dress on really quick.
Oh, Batman, I think I want an autograph too. Give me 1 second.
Why are we getting guys? We're trying to find the fucking tarot cards, but I'm gonna put on lipstick as well.
Change.
I'm gonna put on my clown makeup.
Who gives a shit about the tarot? Batman's coming, my guy! I gotta meet the man. Bruce Will. Fuck, I forgot his name.
Bruce Willis.
Change.
Sorry. There's a chance he might bring Catwoman. Is it Catwoman? I don't remember. That'll look my best,
Oh.
Go.
Okay, I have my autographs on each sheet. Wait, what were we doing? When is he getting here?
I don't know, man. I flashed the bat flashlight earlier. He's not coming, man.
So what I'm hearing is you cheated me out of meeting Batman and my tarot cards?
Change.
Oh my! You know what? It's okay. I didn't need Batman anyways. I'll just find it myself. Jumps out of a window.
Jason, you made her jump out a window. Zane's like looking out the window.
Change.
Okay, Zane's looking out the window going, wow, she went and did it herself.
Finally, it took damn long enough.
Change.
Damn!
Oh my god, no, I'll miss her so bad.
That's your second change, you bitch!
Good fucking riddance, man.
They're always outside the window. I
The
heard
time.
that, bitch!
Time.
I love it. Oh my god.
I do.
That went a whole different direction than fucking tarot cards. I can't give myself points, but holy shit. One for Chiro, one for Zane, and then I'll give one to Miko for being a nice soul and helping.
Yeah.
Mika's change is like so on point. I love it.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my
I just
god.
kind of looked at where it would be funny for it to be like unhinged.
Yeah.
That is true. That is very good. Okay, all right. We go ahead and move to the thing. Oh my god, I'm crying.
God.
Okay. Whose turn? I don't remember.
I don't fucking remember. I was Zane, so it's me.
Oh, Zane. Oh,
Jason.
Okay.
Wait, where's what? Ren? Where's Ren? Why is Ren all the way back there? Wait, I feel like
He went backwards.
All the way
Oh wait,
back.
you're right.
Backwards,
You're right.
yeah.
I'm making my way backwards.
Jason
Making our way backwards.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Which one do you
Guess
want?
we'll do minor again.
Okay, yay!
Yeah,
Free. Okay. Minor event.
I'm
Wheel.
gonna go.
Wheel.
Oh, God.
Minor? Is this the minor? This is the minor. Okay, cool.
Marner.
Oh, minor.
Marner.
You want the minor?
Marner.
Warner.
Warner. Oh, fuck, not again.
Oh, God.
Oh, no, not again.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
god.
Did you run out of prompts?
No, I did not. Not for this one, at least.
Okay, cool. Let's
Put
go
up the
again.
community goal again.
Okay,
Yep.
fine. Okay, fine. I set up the community goal.
Yeah.
Put up the community goal.
Okay,
That's true.
where's the community goal? Mark as complete. Add a new community goal. Oreo 2.0. I spelled my own name wrong. Ori 2.
Great.
It's gonna be another 20k. 20k sounds doable,
Yeah.
right? Okay, cool.
Sure.
Yep.
Just one more day. Create. Start. Ori 2. Okay, Electric Boogaloo. Who rolled this?
Boogaloo.
Who rolled this? Jason. We're gonna go to Jason's voting screen. Okay.
Why am I so small?
I don't know, my guy. I
time.
wish I could tell you. 18k already? I didn't even fucking.
Damn.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Come on,
Understood.
2k more, boys.
Last one, guys. Last one.
Last
You can.
one.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Easy clap.
I regret this. I regret this. Okay, Jason, roll a d6 really quick for me, please.
All right. Where is? Bump.
3 again.
Three again. Okay.
Three again.
Well, it's going to be guaranteed me. So, guys, vote for your last person you want to see me and Jason go against while we're here. Go ahead and put your points in now. I'm gonna find water.
Put 'em points.
Where's the water? There's the water. Make sure to take this time to hydrate because I am literally like
Yep.
crying my eyes out right now.
Do I want to save points for the next community challenge, or do I? Or do I not want to vote for myself? Because this is so
Oh.
expensive.
Okay,
Why am I so expensive?
I will lower it to 16. Would that make you feel better?
Thank you.
Wow, right as I fucking. Wow, you bastard.
You're welcome.
Ass.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, thanks.
Scammed out of points.
Yes, that is the point. Get it?
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
Wow, streamer makes original joke.
Yes, yes, it is. That is fucking perfect. Okay, we get it, guys. Okay, I guess we're going
pretty
to.
decisive,
Okay.
I think Chiro maybe is the one participating.
I think so.
No,
I don't know, man.
I didn't
mean,
know.
look.
Even.
Look, they wasted like 1,000 something on me in the last one. They have to
That's
get me
true.
up somehow.
That
Okay.
is true. It's oh wait, no, it's Jason, Shiro, and me.
Want me to change again?
Let's do Ren so that I can give Ren a point. Make it fair.
Okay.
Alright, Ren.
Damn.
All right,
Alright,
here we
Ren.
go.
Do you
Here we
want
go.
me to give you a prompt? I have a prompt, or do you have a prompt in mind?
If you already have a prompt, then go ahead.
Okay. So the prompt is, oh wait, no, this is only meant for between two people. Do you guys want to hear it, or do you guys want to just YOLO fuck it?
Hear it. Tell us.
Hear it.
Go.
Tell us at
The
least.
prompt is, you met at a bar and is trying to flirt, but is going really, really badly.
Oh
God.
no, that's great. No, having a third person is fantastic.
Oh no!
And then-
Why am I
Okay,
starting
okay.
this one?
And then
Fuck!
But it's going
Okay.
really, really badly.
All
Oh,
right, here we go.
fuck!
okay.
Okay, are you guys ready?
I wonder
No.
what is Ori's role in this, but okay.
We'll figure it out really fast.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, I'm gonna.
All right, so
Cool.
I guess it's Jason. You have to set up scenario. Ready?
Ready?
3, 2, 1, go!
Hey babe, you wanna go out and shoot some cans?
I look at him, and I look at the girl beside me, and be like, maybe next time.
Change.
I look at him and look at the girl beside me. Hey, do you want to go with her instead?
I listen. Or I listen.
Shoved her under the bus.
Puts her foot right onto the bar. I don't think so, my guy.
Change.
She stands up, grabs a drink, and literally just throws it on Jason.
All right, Jason.
Oh fuck! What is this? But I kind of find that hard. Yeah, you wanna go shoot some? Oh, what the fuck? What is this? Is this acid? Ah!
Oh man. Oh what? Okay. I guess we have to call the 911 or we run
Change.
right now. Hey, that's what you get for being bad, okay?
Change.
Not the acid again! I told you that! Don't drink acid!
Oh my god, Chiro, but like I had to do it for the both of us. He doesn't know. Like I had to do it.
Change?
Okay, you know, it wasn't acid, it was base, okay? And you know, like sometimes his pants annoyed me, okay?
Whoa!
Okay. Damn, girl, you fucking crazy. But in a good way.
Wow, dude, you really want to get into her crazy pants, huh?
Change.
Didn't know you're into that. Wow, welcome to the club.
Okay.
Chiro, I thought we talked about this. You're supposed to protect me from weirdos.
Change.
Oh my god, Chiro, I thought we were in this together. Holy shit.
Change.
Who is this guy?
I mean, hey, I'm down for, you know, a little bit of a three-way between all of us, you know?
Change.
You know what? I don't want a threesome anymore, you know? Let's just,
The 180.
have some drinks.
Oh my. Yeah, we can have a drink, of course. It's on me. Sorry for the acid, brah.
Change.
Okay, but acid, okay.
Acid, okay.
Acid period. Acid period.
Time.
Bruh.
Oh my god.
Fucking hell.
Time.
Oh my god.
It's time.
I'm being vilified now. That's all I'm saying.
I couldn't think of anything else. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jason.
Fucking hell.
It was so
Damn,
good though.
Jason,
that
you
was
got
done very well though. That was done very well. I applaud you for that. Holy shit. That
Good
was
job,
really
Jason. Good job.
That was very
The
good.
one
I take on the villain role.
I know, right?
You're really good at being bad. Is that a good thing?
I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Holy shit. Oh my god. Okay. We're fine. We're in home stretch. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Please fucking roll a goddamn the highest goddamn everything known to man so we can be done here. Who's next? Mika, roll.
Make her roll a 6.
Make her roll 6.
Roll that 6.
I'm sorry, but my luck at the moment is not great.
Shit.
4.
No.
Oh no.
1, 2,
1,
3.
2, 3,
1,
4.
2,
Pick
3.
your
it's-
poison in it.
Pick your poison.
Minor, major.
Major, minor.
Minor, major.
Let's do minor. I haven't done a minor. Like as the
Minor.
person.
Minor. That's the wrong one. Sorry. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one.
Ori, wow. Ori rigging
Yes.
again.
I'm so used to hitting the goddamn major. Okay, leave me
Size.
alone. Okay. Alright.
go.
Please let us be free. I'm running out of breath, my guy. Fuck.
What is freedom?
Okay.
Um,
Word dump. Okay, the word
What
dump.
is this?
This is going to be the one where it's word dump, where you take turns. Each player says a
1v1,
word
alright.
trying to convey a story. The first person to hesitate loses. Who wrote this? Mika.
Mika.
I'm gonna go ahead and move to Mika's screen. I'm gonna reset
You.
oh, I didn't mean to do that. Reset the counter. Oops. Oh no. My everything is going whack. To Mika's chibi.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
There he is.
The Mika.
oh,
The Mika.
The
I guess
Mika.
we'll just
The
do
makeup.
the community challenge again, just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do
yes.
the community
I saved the
challenge.
point
just
for
in
that.
case.
You did.
I'm being
Guilty.
bullied into this.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go.
All right. Everybody start voting. There, if you want to do the Oreo or you want to vote for your, did it already finish? Oh, okay. For a second, I was like, no, no, it cannot. Oh my god. Oh god.
10k, 12, 12,
10K,
14,
14K,
14, 16, 16, 16, 16,
Oh god, how
Wait,
many points do you guys have?
4K. We have 18K over here. 2K,
Oh
2K, 2K.
my.
Somebody 2K.
390.
Oh no. Okay.
We got an 18. We got an 18.
Okay,
we need
last one.
We gotta be.
Is it?
We
Is
need a
it? Is
two, we
it?
need a
Is
two.
it? Is it?
We got
Is it?
390. We got 390. All right. What's
We
up?
got 1978. We got Storm
No,
with
yes, no, yes.
Okay.
Wait.
Is it the 300 left? 300 left?
Trend left, trend right, guys.
Come on, we only need 220, 220, one more,
If
one
it's
more,
not
one
gonna
more.
get, you're not gonna get. Okay.
There we go.
Okay. Well, I guess okay. All right, Mika, how's your day going?
My day's going great. How about you?
Fuck me.
I'm sorry.
This is what you made us all do.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to kind of let you down, Ari.
Oh, damn it. No, well, you know what? It's okay. I was forever single anyways. Where are you? Why are you so big? Okay, here you go.
That's what she said.
Wink, wonk,
Shall I
wonk.
roll for how many people are joining us?
No, it's just a 1v1.
No, this is only 1v1.
Boo.
Yes, it's just a 1v1. So, we must make a story. Do you want to, do you have a prompt in mind, or do you want me to just give you the prompt?
Give me the prompt.
Let me find my prompt. Okay. Our prompt for today, we're trying to make a story. Our prompt for today is we're trying to fight other drivers on the road. So TLDR, it is 100% a rage fest right
Oh
now.
god.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. We'll just do it for like 3 minutes or until one of us cracks.
3 minutes is a long time for this one, Ari.
That's a lot.
We'll do 1 minute?
I think 1 minute is plenty.
Okay, alright. Here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
These
Mother
fuckers
are
star
God.
stupid.
I
Hate
these
dickheads.
and
Wish
them.
death.
Mother
Fuckers
can't
drive.
and
They
deserve
to
perish.
I
Wish
that
I
could
also
perish.
drivers
Who
can't
drive
should
die.
Why is it all die? Just death after death.
Death, yes.
Sounds like normal
Pachi.
death, just normal death. Okay.
Oh my God.
alright.
Drivers must die.
Drivers must die. We're gonna go ahead and get
Drivers who can't drive must die.
must die. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Okay. All right. We're almost to the end, guys. We're almost. Oh shit, my face is on
Come on.
everything. Just about that. I died.
5.
Five.
Is that the end?
5. Is that the end?
Yeah.
Oh, we have the end. Okay. We are done for today. Okay, are you guys ready to see the points for tonight?
We all know Jason lost, right?
Damn, I don't have
Nah, this is got some points in the end.
That is true. Are you guys ready to see the
Sure, it
final
doesn't even
scoreboard
matter.
of the night? Ready?
Drum roll.
The drum roll, 3. Oh, it's a tie.
Fucking last!
Let's fucking go.
It looks like it is a tie between Chiro and Zane for the night
Oh
for
my
our
God.
best improv of the night. So, woo! Patsy.
Tiebreaker game.
You want a tiebreaker game?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Tiebreaker!
I give it to Sensei. I give it to Sensei.
Okay, I did.
No,
I I did technically do a bonus round. It's not technically written yet, but I do have technically. Okay, you know what?
You do?
We'll let chat decide.
Chero's gonna one beam me and Wolf's in.
Oh, God.
Well, technically, the bonus round. Let me go ahead and move this here. Okay, so chat gets to vote for versus Mika, not Mika, fuck it, Zane and Chiro.
Chat won't make us fight. Chat will just say they can both win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Fight.
1v1.
Oh no.
Battle to the death.
What the fuck?
To the death.
I looked at Tyus for a second and first
sorry,
then
what?
there's Jason.
What the fuck?
Shut up!
Wow.
What the fuck?
Who do you think is
Obviously,
winning?
Chiro.
Wow. No, it's Sensei, please.
Obviously,
Boo,
it's
what is this
Ori.
fight? Bullshit.
Oh yeah, it's just Ori.
What is this kindness?
Ori, handshake.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, handshake.
Wait, what the? Why are you conspiracy against
The
me?
voting is
Hello?
up. The voting is up. Vote.
It's
What's
Ori.
up?
It's Ori.
You don't even actually have to follow this. You can just
Make
vote
it a
whoever
tie
you
so
want.
we can have a
Make it a
true
tie.
No, don't make it a tie.
Make it a tie. Make it a
No,
tie.
don't make it a tie.
Make it a tie.
No, don't make it a
Very
tie.
good.
What
Very
the
good.
fuck?
Make it a tie.
What the fuck? Alright, Knuckles, no. Oh my god, it's
We
actually a tie.
rebel.
Okay.
We rebel.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
everyone.
Make it a tie. Make it a
What the
tie.
fuck? No. Okay.
Something gone wrong.
Okay. Looks like Zane is winning.
No.
No. Looks like Zane is winning.
Okay.
No. Don't you fucking dare.
Okay.
No, don't you dare fucking make that. No. Stop. Hold on.
This is bullshit.
And it looks like tonight's winner is going to be Zane! Wow, what the fuck? Jesus Christ!
Streamer.
What the fuck? The audacity right
Point
now!
at the streamer and boo.
The winner is booing.
Damn, I can't believe it. Oh my god. Okay. I'm tired, guys. We gotta go. We're done here. All right. Thank you guys
Never
for
again.
coming. Damn. Not even next year, Jason?
No.
Damn.
Sure.
The audacity right now. Oh my
No
god.
hesitation.
Holy shit. Okay, thank you guys for coming to today's stream. I hope you guys enjoyed my 3-year anniversary. Thank you so much to everybody for coming today in chat and also the people that participated in the improv night. I hope you had fun despite me really not telling you what the fuck was happening.
That was
I hope
the worst.
it was...
Wouldn't have it any other way. Pachi.
Oh my god.
What did I win?
You won nothing.
What the fuck?
No one wins.
Nobody wins.
I wanted to win Ori's hat. Shoot.
Okay, fine. You want my hat? Where's the hat? There you go. There's the hat. Merry Christmas.
Wow.
Okay.
We did win something.
Friendship.
These broken friendships along.
Emotional death.
Emotional
damage.
YouTuber one is. Oh my god.
Oh
Oh
boy.
my god.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Happy
Everybody.
3rd anniversary.
Happy
Yay! Thank you. Arigato.
Oats and curries.
Make sure
Oats.
to check out everybody today. I need to.
There we go.
Where is my commands? Please make sure to check out. Oh, thank you. Why is my participant doing my work? Holy shit!
God. I
Oh,
swear.
thank you for the
There
bits.
we go.
You need to, Chiro.
Thank
And then-
you.
Do I have one for Jason? Oh yeah, I
Ooh.
do. Oh, I need to update that.
Wow.
Arigato so much, everybody. I hope you guys have a nice day, night, and everything in between. I have no updates. Please check out everybody. Arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you guys for coming. I hope you had a fun
Thank you for coming.
Bye bye. Wait, where's my mute button? Wait, where's the mute button? This is the mute button? This is
No muting.
No mute.
No mute.
No